Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show tonight. We're just wanted to say a shout out to the Knicks at Night family. A couple of things. Unfortunately, Freezy, our leader, has some business issues that he has to take care of, and he won't be with us tonight. Unfortunately, he'll be greatly missed. And hello, also, everybody. Welcome to the show tonight. Oh, I gotta shut myself. Just wanted to say a shout out to the Knicks at Night family. A couple of things. Unfortunately, Freezy, our leader, has some. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. Getting old. So as I was saying, Freezy's not going to be with us tonight, unfortunately. So let's put out some good thoughts for him, and maybe we'll get luck out and he'll check in a little later. But if not, we'll be running the show today, and he'll be with us in spirit. Also, unfortunately, there's a little glitch within StreamYard where Freezy's personal information and his credit card information would be exposed to me if we did something. So he's going to have to let the people into the chat tonight. So I was this close to getting that Hawaiian vacation I've been looking for. So darn. But maybe next time. So Knicks family, anyone who's unable to, in about 5 minutes, we'll be letting people into the panel, and we'll start the show officially. But those of you who are not able to get in tonight, sorry, we'll give you a rain check. But pretty much once everyone fills up the panel tonight, we're going to close it for the night, and those are going to be the panelists for the evening. And hopefully in the future, StreamYard will fix that glitch, or maybe not again, so I could have that Hawaiian vacation. Hey, the Knicks, we lost tonight. A couple days ago, after the game, I did mention that I had great respect for Dwayne Casey, and I knew they'd come out with a lot more intensity. And they did. They did have a lot more intensity. But there were a lot of issues, and there's a lot of good stuff that we're going to talk about tonight. And really not that much good to talk about. RJ looked pretty good. He looked solid. But our point guard position, oh, goodness gracious, it's really dismal. And my gut's telling me that the game tonight is really what we'll experience during the season rather than the win the other night. So it may be a tough season for us. And also, unfortunately, maybe a tough season for our rookie Obi and others who desperately need a point guard to set him up rather than trying for him to try to make his own shots. So his threes and everything he was doing tonight was really not his game, and it's a shame. It's a shame. So looking at the box score, hey, ladies and gentlemen, our leader, Freezy, how are you, buddy?
Good, man. Good to see you, boss.
I can't hear you. Are you muted?
Hey, I just wanted to drop in. I can't stay long. I just wanted to drop in and say thanks for hosting the Brothership Connection, the Knicks at Night podcast, man. Just wanted to jump in and check out the chat and everybody. Hey, peace to the chat, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. I imagine you got some big things going on to discuss tonight, man, seeing that we lost.
Can't hear you, brother. Hello? I was telling people that there was a glitch. We're having some issues with StreamYard tonight, and I'm not able to hear you.
Can you hear me now? No? Okay. All right, hold on.
Here you go. Here you go, buddy. So, just when I could hear him, he dropped off. So, we'll work through these glitches tonight, and we'll have a great show. Let me just. Without Freezy, just a couple things. in my worst impersonation. Sima Singh is in the building. The New York Knicks is in the building. Big Oso. I am K-Ban. All our Udi, all of our regulars. It's greatly appreciated, all the support you give us. So just going over tonight, Randall, 4 for 11, 1 for 3 from 3 points from the 3-point line, 9 for 12 from the foul total, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 turnovers, 18 points, and incredibly aggravating. We'll go into that. Nerlens Noel. Let me just make sure. Let's see. Nerlens Noel, 21 minutes, 1 for 4, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 3 points. Julius was -2 on plus minus. Noel was +10. Peyton had 4 points, 3 turnovers, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 steal. Alec Burks was really one of the bright spots. 5 for 9 shooting, 3 for 5 from 3, 2 foul shots, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 15 points. RJ, 10 for 17, 1 for 5 from 3. Good news, though, 4 for 5 from the foul line, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. He had a 0 plus minus, so he was just at the 0 point. Alec Burks, by the way, was a +5, and it was amazing. But Elfrid Payton was actually a +9. But RJ finished with 25 points. And hey, Chad, can you hear me? Just let me know. I just want to make sure. We're feeling a little uncomfortable with the little glitches, like I said, in StreamYard tonight. So just let me know with a yes whether or not you're cool. Great. Awesome. Thank you. So Obi was only 4 points tonight, -8 on plus minus, 2 turnovers, 1 steal, 1 assist, 4 rebounds. But I felt bad for the kid. And we'll go into that, but I don't think they ran a play for him. And he's in desperate need of a point guard. Reggie Bullock, 5 points, a -16 plus minus. Couldn't hit a shot at all, man. He was 1 for 7 from 3. He looked terrible. Knox didn't look any better. 1 for 6 field goals, 0 for 2 from 3. What a difference a day makes. Oh, my goodness. He was -8 and finished the night with 2 points. Mitch Robinson also looked like got in foul trouble. I think Freezy's going to come back for a second, but I see he's muted. 19 minutes, 5 rebounds. Kevin, my man, can you hear me?
Oh, I didn't know I was even in the chat. I don't know how long I was been live.
Yeah,
I wasn't like up my nose or anything.
Good evening, guys. How you doing?
We're doing well. How are you? Hey,
I've had better days.
Cornerstone. And Rob, I think Rob, you're muted. Hey, Ron, my man. Hey,
Steve.
How are you? We're gonna have a great night tonight.
Days. My Knicks lost tonight, and my Steelers lost tonight. So I'm gonna need a double of something, whatever anybody's having.
Hey, don't feel bad, Kev. My Dolphins lost and my Knicks lost, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm. Jeez.
My Cowboys won.
Oh, who cares about the Cowboys? I mean, really, the Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys?
We won.
So I'm just going to finish up the box score real quick, and then we'll rock and roll and get into what the panel thinks of what their impressions of tonight, and I'm sure it's not going to be pretty. Dennis Smith, OMG. That that was a real painful performance watching DSG tonight. Absolutely no anticipation of being trapped. It was like watching an MMA fight and saying, "Oh, somebody's going to take him back and choke him out," and he didn't see anything and he got choked out, man. So Dennis Smith, 2 points, a -15. By the way, Mitchell was a -16. 5. So Dennis Smith, 17 minutes, 1 for 5, 0 for 2 from 3, 1 rebound, 3 assists, but it was really out of it. Frank, like I said, 3 points, pretty invisible the whole night, 1 assist, 1 rebound, and quickly, it was his first game. He got his first bucket. Tibbs after the game said the kid was feeling some jitters, which is normal, but he had trouble getting off that 3, and we'll get into that 3-2 zone that really took it to them. And that was pretty much it. So
you didn't say DSJ's numbers.
I'm sorry. I thought DSJ was 17 minutes. Rob, 1 for 5 from 2, 0 for 2 from 3, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 1 turnover, a -15 plus minus, and he finished tonight with 2 points. So, Kevin, we'll kick it off with you, and I'll be calling you Cornerstone or CK, whatever you'd like. But we'll kick it off. We'll kick it off with Mr. Wright.
So, as everyone in the chat and on the panel knows, I am the biggest Knicks optimist. Like, I am the opposite of Guillermo. I am a glass half full kind of person.
Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. It took 1 minute and 38 seconds for.
But I don't even really know where to begin with tonight. It was just a disgusting performance from a lot of people, and I'm going to. It's just one of those old sayings, like, you talk about yourself before someone else can talk about you. So let me start off by saying Knox was bad, but
very bad.
It's a long list of people who were bad, and so I saw in the chat, "Oh, Knox." Like, let's not forget everybody else was bad. The main proponent being Mr. Julius Randle himself, who is the orchestrator of Abysmal.
Randall wasn't worse than Knox, though.
Randall was way worse than Knox. And I'll tell you why Randall was way worse than Knox. Because Randall touches the ball all the time. Randall influences the entire team's performance.
They came back like they tied
No.
the game.
You might have missed this when I said this the other night. There's only 2 things that matter in sports: wins and losses. This isn't, it's good for morale that we came back. No. We lost because Randall is garbage.
The bench lost the game for us.
The bench, Julius Randle lost the game for us.
No, the bench lost the game. Did you watch the game?
Randle, I'm watching the game right now. I'm literally watching. I recorded it and I'm watching it over and over again. Julius Randle lost the game. This is something that's funny. In a span of 1 minute, Julius Randle missed a layup, missed a 3, got an offensive foul, and then a technical foul. In 1 minute of play.
It was in the second quarter, and then he hit the 3 to close out the quarter. Come on now. Bounce off that.
So Robert Nick is going to sit here and defend the horrendous play of, you know what? I got 3 hours to talk about how bad Julius Randle is.
Yeah, but
I'm going to let somebody else go ahead.
You didn't even watch the game.
Yeah.
You didn't even watch the game.
I'm literally watching it right now.
Yeah,
you didn't watch it.
No, I watched it before, and I'm watching it again now.
Well,
I like misery.
Take notes.
Randall played a good game, Moody?
What?
You thought he played it?
Randall did not. He played.
What were you defending him for? What was all that?
Kevin was worse. Kevin was throwing up air balls, like wide open air balls.
The other night when RJ Barrett was throwing up air balls, nobody got on RJ.
Yeah, because he
Not
came
one
back.
person.
Yes, they did.
We got on him.
Yeah,
We got
they
on
got
him.
on him.
We got
At
on
least he
No, they
came
didn't
back.
get on him like he was horrible. Let's not play those games.
We said
he started off over 6 and then he redeemed himself.
Yeah, like
he started off bad, but Kevin Knox is two bad shooting nights.
Yeah. And it's not like he was that great in the first game either.
He just was better defensively in the first game.
Yeah.
Defensively, he was still fine. He didn't do anything defensively bad.
He
didn't check out mentally like he would normally do.
Kev, he was trash. Just pass the mic, Kev. He was trash.
Yeah. So we lost the game because Kevin Knox. Y'all all right?
No, the bench.
Y'all all right? We lost the game because Kevin Knox.
No, we
was
lost
trash.
the game because of the second unit.
The second unit.
Yeah, that's why we lost the game.
I agree with you, Rob.
Me too.
Second unit lost it.
I don't even think
Dennis Smith was brutal, man. He just
Dennis Smith was bad.
Everybody
was
on the bench was brutal. Mitch was bad.
A lot of people were bad.
Obi was bad. Knox was bad.
I gotta defend Obi.
Yeah,
Obi. You know, I'm gonna tell you what happened with Obi tonight. Is they didn't make a concerted effort to get him the ball. He did not have a flow tonight. They were not getting him the ball. I saw the guy calling for it in the post. They just blew him off like he wasn't even on the court. And I'm like, do you see this guy wide open? I'm like, but it was a different game. But I kind of felt like what happened with us tonight is that they were feeling themselves. You know, they were smelling drinking too much of the Kool-Aid. Oh, we beat them guys 2 days ago. So because you can see the effort on defense was terrible too. They weren't communicating. Wow. Guys were getting wide open 3-point shots and they knocked them down tonight.
Yeah, but that changed in the second half. Look, the point guards lost the game.
Absolutely.
Simple. All of them all together. And
absolutely.
Knox didn't help worth a damn.
So Knox didn't help. Did Reggie Bullock help?
Hey,
Reggie Bullock played pretty good.
He didn't help either.
But he made a shot. He made a few.
Lost
I'm
gonna tell you what.
Hold up. Now, on a whole, everybody played bad. Okay, everybody. If you want to see, wait a minute. The only one that really played well was Burke.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he was hitting his shots.
And they went away from throwing the ball to him.
Yes. What was
they
maddening?
didn't feed the hot hand.
Exactly. What was
RJ played well too.
Wait a minute. What was maddening? What was driving me up a wall, other than my Steelers losing tonight, but that's another story. What was maddening was our guards not being able to set up top and down low. All right. They were not getting how many turnovers? I would love to know how many turnovers.
22. We had 22.
Obi was, whenever he got the ball, he was like juggling it.
22. Yeah, exactly.
They had him too far away from the basket.
Exactly.
That was
and
the guard's fault. The point guard lost.
Exactly. But see, here's the thing. Everybody's jumping on my boy Frank all the time. Frank was trying to play defense.
Trash too.
I'm gonna tell you what happened to Frank tonight.
Go ahead with that BS, right?
You know what happened to Frank tonight? I'm gonna defend you, Cornerstone.
He's better than what DSJ was doing, all right? So
you know what happened to Frank? You know what happened to Frank tonight?
11 minutes.
What'd you say, Ron?
Okay, 1 second. Let Ron speak, please.
The only thing that happened to Frank tonight was that the ref, he didn't make an adjustment with how the refs were calling the game. Because I was like, they was calling some ticky-tacky stuff, and I'm like, Frank, you got to make an adjustment, man. They had that's what I call defensive awareness. You got to know how the ref is calling the game. Just like Mitch, he was too aggressive tonight, and it cost him. And I can tell you this: Noel is going to be our starter because of it. And I know people in the chat may not like it, but that's what's about to happen because Mitch is doing the same thing he did in year 1 and year 2. We see it.
Ron, they got to deal with it. Noel's going to be our starting center. Deal with it.
I want to make one point after watching this game. You didn't want to realize that we have like no bulk on this team because Noel and Mitch are kind of on the slight side.
Yeah.
It's oh God, Embiid is going to kill us when we play Philadelphia. I don't even want to think about that. If Jahlil Okafor can look like this,
they'll put Spellman in there for him.
What someone like that going to do?
It looked like Godzilla's on the court.
Look, y'all got to quit blaming Randall for all the Knicks debacles.
I ain't killing Randall, man.
Randall was the one who kept him in the game. He got hot. I'm really talking to Kev. Randall kept him in the game until RJ got hot.
You know, as someone said
But he
it
went to the
earlier,
line.
Julius Randle will probably finish the season.
One at a time.
He only took 11 shots. Let's not get it twisted. He
But the
only took
ball was
11
50%
shots.
in
He
his
went to the
hand.
line.
Cornerstone,
Hold on
please.
there for a second. He went to the line. He brought the ball up. He passed the ball. He got assists. He turned the ball over a couple of times, but that comes with handling the ball.
Sure.
But could I ask a question? Why the hell is Tibbs having him handle the ball or bring up the ball? That's
Because
a head
he can do it.
Because
we
the
don't
point
have
guard suck. That's
Clearly,
why.
he can't do it.
Look, the
Clearly,
point
he
guard
cannot.
wasn't doing no better. The point
And
guard
you saw-
wasn't doing no better.
And Steve, if I could say, you saw a lot of the BS tonight that you saw last year between him and Alfred Payton. They was singing. There was just working
No,
a
they
two-man
weren't.
game instead of working
Well, they
everybody
weren't.
else.
That's not even true. Did you watch the
That's
game?
true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes,
Hey,
It
That's not
wasn't
even
true.
true.
Hey, one
That's
second.
not true.
Let's get B Well in here, man. What do you think? How are you,
Hey,
buddy?
Will.
I what's up, man? The whole team needs to get better at learning how to pass out of a trap. That's
Thank
my analysis of the game tonight. Like, just literally, everyone fake a pass to make a pass, make the safe
Second pass.
pass, and then once that pass is out of the trap, then you hit the open man. And that
Thank you.
tonight, the whole team struggled with that. Knox
you.
was terrible. DSJ was terrible, my boy, who actually I defended in the first game. Although I think he gave defensive effort tonight still, but he just was awful. And this is why he cannot start. So we need to end that conversation that some people believe, but everybody has a right to their opinion. Toppin, I didn't like how we used them, and that is my concern. Like people said, if we don't have a point guard, I just don't like him out there. I mean, yes, he can shoot the ball, but he was taking some deep ones.
Yep.
Yeah,
Obi took 1 3 that I think was from 400 feet away, man. That was like way out, man.
Yeah.
But let me ask y'all this: tonight, and even on Friday, who was handling the ball the most?
Friday night,
Friday night.
Friday and tonight.
Alfred handled the ball because he had
And
almost a
Randall as
triple-double.
well. And Randall as well, correct?
Not as much as he did tonight.
Tonight, yeah, he handled a lot, but he also
But
missed.
the point guard sucked tonight. They sucked.
Brutal.
Yeah, they all did.
It was hard to watch.
I didn't
It
see
was
the
hard to
same.
watch.
Yeah, I didn't see the same intensity that I saw on Friday. I
agree.
didn't.
In half, they picked it up a touch, obviously, to cut down that 15-point lead. But oh my God, Randall! How many times? All I kept saying to myself, deja vu again. At the end of the game, he'll have the stats, but how many times, like you said, didn't he held the ball too long, got trapped, threw it in, turnovers. What did he miss? 4 layup level shots.
RJ blew one too. Crucial
He
one down
didn't
here.
dunk it. I didn't understand.
I think that he was mentally in between. Like he didn't decide. He didn't know what he wanted to do with the ball. Because if you see how he went up, I'm like, okay, he's gonna dunk it. And then I saw him do a layup.
Did he have
normally that's when you miss.
Hey, Ron, did he have a Pat Ewing? Did he have one of them Ewing moments?
That's what kind of reminded me of.
Yeah. And that is the job of the point guard to get them in their sets, whatever set that they're trying to do. It's up to him. I mean, up to the point guard.
We don't have a point guard. I think we all can agree to that. We don't have a point guard.
Tonight couldn't even get his own pants.
Hey,
couldn't even get his
one
own
second,
pants
everyone.
tonight.
Tibbs after the game said, "When we play for each other, good things happen." That didn't happen tonight. We didn't have anyone breaking down the defense. He also said DSJ wasn't getting the team into the right spots. We didn't execute getting that second pass out of the trap.
It's Randall's fault, though.
Well,
I'm gonna tell you what. I gotta give Randall his credit.
Second unit.
Randall and just like we talked about, like quarterbacks, when a quarterback throws the ball a lot, it's going to be opportunities for turnovers. There's no way around it. As much as Randall handled the ball tonight, you're going to get turnovers, but it doesn't look good when you got 5 assists and 5 turnovers.
There were too many.
That ratio don't look good, but he played his butt off. I've seen him hustle again tonight on the defensive side. I was happy for that.
Wait,
and Randall played defense tonight.
No, he did not.
He played deep. You know what the problem was?
He did
If
not.
you look at that game, if you look at the game,
I
the
have a
team
problem.
didn't play good team defense. There was a lot of lapses on team defense. Guys was getting open, backdooring people, and two people guarding one man. There was a lot of that tonight. It was miscommunication, especially in that second
Randall
unit.
refuses to step up on the switch. He just refuses to do it. I have plenty of evidence. He will not step up on the switch on the pick and roll. Just
I'm gonna
won't
tell you
do
like
it.
this. If it wasn't for Randall tonight, we wouldn't have been that close. Just be real. Randall Burks and Randall Burks and RJ was the
Close
only three.
means something in horseshoes.
Oh, it means something because your boy Kevin, I'm gonna tell you right now,
shot us out of the game.
He just
hey, that plane is on the tarmac.
He shot us out the game with 6 shots.
That plane is on the tarmac. You know why? Because they didn't want to give him no more because he done shot 6 badly.
Shot us out the game with 6.
And I'm gonna say this.
Hey, look.
Every single air ball
12
shot tonight.
Hey, listen. As much as we want to blame the second unit, for losing, we got to blame the first unit for putting us in that hole. All right. So again, it's going both ways. It's going both ways. They all play
don't just kill Julius Randle because the team played bad. They played bad, but there's a couple guys. There's a couple guys on this team right now that then had 2 consecutive. They've been consistent at playing bad offensively, and we know who they are, whether or not we like them or not.
I just want to say this about RJ. We're going to talk about a lot of criticism, but with RJ today,
hold that thought, because what I'd like to do is get back to the format we've been using over the last few nights. We'll bring up a player and then we'll go around the horn, so everyone can speak one at a time without interrupting each other. Okay. So, are we done on Randall? I'll tell you though, but those turnovers, it's aggravating, and as a fan, it's exhausting because you're like, sometimes you understand turnovers, but these were so many unnecessary turnovers, like throwing into congested lanes, dribbling into, we were saying, come on, let's see some change. What do you keep dribbling into that stuff or getting trapped and not kicking it out? No different than we made the comment. So we already heard. Anybody else want last thing before we get off Randall?
One last thing about this Randall thing. If these point guards acted like they wanted the ball tonight, Randall wouldn't have had to handle it. They were running from the ball. DSJ would pass half court. If he couldn't dribble to the basket, he was picking up his dribble, giving the ball to Randall. Everybody, Randall was the only one consistently taking the ball to the basket.
Either that or somebody had Mexican for dinner.
Yes, he turned the ball over. He sure did, but the point guard's job is to take command of the game.
And we don't have one.
So let's start with well, and we're going to go around the horn. Your impression of DSJ tonight.
DSJ, oh my gosh, where do I start?
Just one quick thing: when people see me turn away from the camera, it's only because I'm interacting with the chat. So I just wanted to let you know, if you see me doing that, it's either looking at stats up or it's looking at that, or interacting with the chat. So just wanted to do that. So I apologize. Go, be well.
Yeah, just DSJ. I'm not saying he didn't give effort. I think he gave effort on defense. I think he took another charge in the game, so I appreciate that. But there's no way you can have him start a basketball game right now. He can't make a pass. He took terrible shots. He just did not get the offense where it needed to be, which is the point guard's job. At least Elfrid Payton, although he had a bad game too. Although in the third quarter when we got anything going,
he was playing good defense.
Yeah. But just back to DSJ, again, this is why I said there were people that said he should be starting, and I think tonight proved again why that should not happen. He needs to play for us, but there's no way he's starting.
Rob?
Service announcement. DSJ. You know where I'm going. TWA to JFK to the DDL. Go, Ron.
Oh man, how do I go behind that?
Man.
That's all I can say right now, Kevin. Everybody's to the chat. This was a bad loss tonight, and it's at the foot of the point guards, man. we don't have one. Even the first game that we won, it wasn't because of the point guards. I'm gonna tell y'all, it wasn't because of it. Well, I take that back. It was because of Alfred Payton. Alfred Payton, and I see now why Alfred Payton has been shipped so many times is because he's inconsistent.
That's the
You
word.
don't know what you're gonna get from him from night to night. But DSJ, I've seen this experiment and you got to ask yourself. He was with a championship caliber coach.
Carlisle?
That moved on from him.
After 1 year.
Exactly. After 1 year. And then we seen what we got from him. The experiment, man, it's time to pull the plug. I ain't ready to fly him out yet. I'm still giving them 20 games. And I'm really giving the 20 games to Leon Rose so he can see who he needs to get out of here. Because people got to go. They got to go. I love a lot of these guys because we drafted them. And I think that's what happens is we fall in love because we draft guys. And I'm one of the biggest Frank supporters. But he going to have to shape up. Kevin Knox going to have to shape up. Hey, I'm telling you, Mitch going to have to shape up too. Them boys is going to be packaged. Don't be surprised if that Buddy Hield talk pops back up. Because we don't have consistent level shooting.
You saw Tibbs, on DSJ, several times speak to him on the sidelines, but also maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I'm looking at his body language is just negative. And Udi, come on. Oh, Art.
I was never a fan of DSJ, so I'm just dude stinks. There's a reason why Carlisle didn't want him. I just can't believe in a point guard that gets so rattled easily. If you have a bad game, you see RJ, he has a bad start of a game and he doesn't change his body language at all. DSJ, once he gets his first turnover, he's moping around and all depressed and stuff. And I can't wait till all these point guards are gone off the Knicks because they're obviously not the answer.
Well, if we could have got Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah. Or even Jeff Teague. I would have
or Randall. Or Rondo.
Yeah.
One of them three. Right now, we'd have looked a whole lot better.
Hey,
we
just
don't have
real
four
quick.
guys that can run a team.
Hey, Guillermo, I see you in the chat. I'd love you to be on here tonight, man. But unfortunately, we're going to be closed because it was saying there's a glitch in StreamYard that I would be able to see Freezy's personal information and credit card. So he's the only one that could let people in tonight. And I can't get you in, buddy, but I would love to have you here. So anybody else, Chuck, anybody else that wanted to get in on the discussion tonight, I feel really bad, but honest, we'll get those rain checks out to you because we always love your insights. So I just wanted to let you know that's what we're dealing with tonight.
But I do, before you move on, though, I do have to say one bright spot about Mr. Ntilikina. That jump shot looked good. And he made another three again in that. I think he was 50%, 1 for 2.
Yeah, I think it was 1 for 3.
So you're saying you thought that one shot made him look good?
well, we got a small sample size. The first game, he went 100%. He shot 1. Tonight, he shot 2. Yeah, he shot 1 3 the first game. Went 100%. Your boy Kevin didn't do that. The second game, he went 1 for 2. So right now, the guy's 2 of 3 behind the 3-point line through 2 games. He just ain't taking enough of them.
Hey, thank you. Just a couple notes that I took for our discussions tonight. Through 2 games, Knicks have shot 13 for 56 or 23% from 3 and shot 26 for 45 from the line, from the foul line, or 58%.
Hey, Steve, could you look up Kevin Knox 3-point shooting through 2 games?
He's 0 for 5. Okay, I can tell you, he's 0 for 5.
Oh, you've been on it, huh?
Maybe 0 for 4. Over
and
5.
Probably about 3 or 4 of them bust some windows out of Madison Square Garden too.
Well, we think we're in Detroit, so we ain't got to worry about
And the ball made it to Madison Square Garden and hit James Dolan up in his office.
That's a nice way.
Who was the one?
Orifice.
Who was the one oh, I think he knocked out somebody's popcorn over.
let me I'm gonna say this, and there's one thing. There's one thing that I'll never get on any athlete about, and that's a person's perceived body language. As a person who used to be an athlete myself, I know what it's like to mess up and want to get down on yourself. So I will never, ever, ever be like, oh, his body language is bad and he was moping and he had his head down. I mean, I'm pretty sure most people would too if they know they're making mistakes and they know that they want to. These players don't want to go out there and play bad.
Oh, we know that.
I'll say that DSJ doesn't want to go out there and stink up the joint. So I can't get on him. And I think it's so wrong for fans to get on players because they mess up. It's one thing to talk about a player not playing well. It's one thing to talk about a player's psyche, their mentality, their will, their body language. I mean, that's so you'll never ever hear anything like that from me. But what I will say is, did DSJ play bad? Yes. Did Frank? I'm not gonna say Frank played bad. It's just weird because you have a mindset that Frank is a point guard, and so it's hard to kind of get him out of that mind, that idea that he's a point guard in your mindset. So it's like the point guards play bad, so you think that Frank is lumped in with the point guard, so he played bad too. Frank in his role defensively, I'll say this: at the end of the game,
he fouled out.
Frank and Quickly were on the court to close the game out. So
Frank fouled out though.
I mean, he fouled out, but the point is, he was on the court to close the game out.
True.
Yeah, he was. That's two nights in a row.
So
in the crucial moments of the game.
That says something about Tibbs' trust, because we were kind of trying to claw back in at that point. And so to have a rookie and Frank in, to me, that says a lot.
Oh yeah,
he could have had Peyton in the game.
I think he was just trying to teach them game situations. Because if he was trying to win the game, he would have had Alec Burks in the game.
I agree with you because he was the hot one. He was the hot one. Him, RJ. If he would have went up with a lineman of him, RJ, Randall.
Another thing, I am so glad that he benched Randall at the end of the game.
Well, I think that like you said. It wasn't because he just was benching him. It was situational basketball. He's trying to teach them younger guys.
Teaching the young guys situational basketball.
And even with that being said, he was still trying to go with guys he think he could trust when the season starts down the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Quick shout out to the best mods the Lords have ever created, Simon and Bodega. Please hit that like, subscribe, and reminder buttons. We really appreciate all your support. Thanks so much. Smash that like button, please, and the subscribe especially. So my last thing on DSJ, and I think it's all what you felt, that if you play this amount of ball and you don't have any intuition, you don't see those traps coming, it's crazy, man. I don't see that guy in this league in 2 years.
Steve, I agree with you, because I said this before, and I might say it jokingly, but it's apparent it is what he is, and he reminds me of a street ball player, them and1 basketball players. That's what I see when you look at him playing good. It's always in those pickup games, and he's doing these, array of moves, but it's pickup.
Yeah.
It's not the NBA.
Yeah, and for such an athletic guy, he walks the ball up more than anything. You think from a pace perspective, he'd be showing off his athleticism, getting up there, trying to penetrate, at least get a foul, and nothing. He's just nonchalant. His passes, it's like, come on, and you heard all these people, LeBron saying, we should have taken DSJ.
Yeah, we missed one on him. Yeah,
and all this is like, man, what did you ever see in this guy? Ever?
Athleticism.
Yeah, but we've seen a lot of athletic guys in this league go out after a year or two. That only takes you so far, man.
Exactly.
If you don't have athleticism from the neck up, you're in trouble.
I knew he was bad when Moutier was outplaying him when Moody was still here.
And I'm gonna tell you, all jokes aside, Moody, I would take him right now for what we got.
Yeah, I know. I'd take Calderon over
Yeah.
what we got.
Yeah.
And kudos to Casey. He's a world-class coach, implementing that 3-2 zone, took away the paint, forcing us to shoot threes because they know we can't shoot threes to save our life. And, and we came back, and that's only because they're a crummy team. But gosh, it's just exposing. I was just also hoping, like you said, not one play running for Obi. They made the kid try to make his own shot, made him taking threes.
Standing out on the perimeter. Got him standing out on the perimeter.
Exactly. That's not his game at all. And wow. Unbelievable.
You know what else I thought about Steve, man? I tell you this. I hope we see Iggy before the end of this preseason, but I'm afraid they're not going to play him. And people can say what they want to say about the kid, but he's slow, slow feet. I don't buy all that. I know what the guy did at Michigan. I know what the guy did in the Summer League, and I know what the guy did in the G League. And 3 stops, the guy played good. And he definitely can shoot, and we need shooting. Because you're going to see a lot more 3-2 zones if we can't shoot the ball. Because these lineups, we got some terrible shooters, man.
Yeah,
and for some of these players, they better be glad the Garden is empty this year.
Yeah, and another thing I thought about was on quickly. They're talking lights out and everything, and if the kid couldn't make his own shot tonight, set a darn screen, set a play for him, so the kid can get that shot off. And everyone had to make their own shot tonight, it looked like.
Yeah, and that goes back to what I was saying about, I think the league did us a disservice. I wish they would do like the NFL, where when a new coach comes into a program, they get to start their training camp sooner. And I think they should have done that with us. I mean, we had everything new, front office and coaches.
You know what it looked like? It looked like Tibbs wasn't even planning to use quickly today. Because our point guards were playing like shit. That's why Quickly got in the game.
Yeah, he had no choice but to play him.
Yeah. Well,
if we can't hear you, you mute yourself.
I'm going to say something, and I'm just speculating. But as I'm rewatching the game and they're showing the clips of the game, I noticed that Quickly has on a back brace.
Yeah,
maybe I'm reading too much in this.
Wow,
he does have on a back brace.
I saw that when he was on the bench, when he was standing up. I saw that.
A lot of people wear that though.
Yeah,
RJ
I did see him stretching out in a weird position at the scoring table, and I went, wow, you usually don't see somebody sitting down like that. So maybe he was like trying to stretch that thing out. But again, you're always making great catches, Kev. Wow, I hope, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I know that I haven't heard anything in like the scouting reports, but I don't think that your 21-year-old is going to be wearing a back brace, and because it looks like one of those therapeutic back braces. Because I'm kind of
to keep it warm or something.
Yeah.
RJ was wearing the same thing the other night.
Wow. Well, as we know, it's such a short, really the camps and everything. So I'm sure they're going at it, and they're sore as hell, man. And also, I'm just lighting a candle that nobody pulls a hammy or a groin, so we can actually see. But getting back to Ron's point about Iggy, after what we're seeing with Knox, I don't understand. Give Iggy a shot. What the hell are we? What are we getting out of Knox? And gosh.
I mean, we got the guy. We wasted So what is going to be basically? We wasted a second round pick if we don't ever get a guy a shot.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, in the grand scheme, they're not saying anything about Iggy. How many second round picks have we actually just wasted?
A lot.
Yeah.
It's true.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, Trey is gone.
Well, Trey wasn't. He was undrafted.
I keep wanting to say he was a second rounder. Yeah, that's right. He was undrafted.
Was Frederick Weiss a second rounder or a first rounder?
Damian Dotson?
First.
Damian Dotson was a second
round from Houston, yeah.
Frederick Weiss over our test.
I tell you what, Damian Dotson on this team right now with a shot better than a lot of these guys.
Yeah. And he was only a $2 million per year contract. I think he signed a two-year, $4 million contract. So
we'll see him in Cleveland when we play him.
Is
Yeah.
that where he is? He is in Cleveland, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a Cleveland.
You know, a lot of Knox and Obi, and I use those two because they, especially Obi, they need strong point guard plays to thrive off of.
I don't think Obi's like that. Obi could get his own shot.
Nah.
Yeah, and how did that work out tonight?
Well, he gets his own shot if he's in the paint area, or he's not going to get it out in the perimeter.
You're not going to see the best Obi until you get a point guard where he can play pick and roll and be athletic around the basket.
Yeah.
So,
but I don't think he's like dependent on a point guard.
He kind of is at this stage of his career. This is his second game ever.
I don't think. Yeah.
So I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh my God, he's going to come out and dominate and do everything on his own." No, he needs at this stage of his career, being his second NBA game.
If he's out
Take
there with
the age out of it.
If he's out there with Dennis Smith, it's not going to go very well.
Exactly, it's not going to work. He needs to be set up. He needs those easy baskets at first to build up, like every young player does, to build up that confidence to go out and do things on your own, to keep defenses honest. But if everyone's keying on you because DSJ and Frank and Elfrid Payton's not doing anything at all, then I mean,
I think Rivers is going to start.
I don't think Rivers is a point guard though. Rivers, I've never seen Rivers orchestrate a team before. He is an off-ball shooter.
Yeah, he's an off-ball guy.
He only averaged two assists in his career.
Yeah, so he's not going to start as point guard.
Yeah, but
he can't
put the
orchestrate
ball
a team.
in RJ's hands to make decisions. Why would they? They better have a 3-point shooter than.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ideal that they put the. I don't think Tom Thibodeau wants to put the ball in RJ's hand.
He had RJ had the ball most of the night tonight.
Is that by design or is that just by circumstances because of the play of the point guards?
Is it RJ, Tom?
Hey, but we have some great suggestions from the chat for how we could turn this around. D. Jones say we should re-sign Cleanthony early.
Oh my goodness, I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah, I know, and he'd probably do better even with a bullet in his thigh. You know, a lot of different. I
can't believe he had the nerve to say like, "Oh, the Knicks failed him," but he's the one who went out and got shot. Like that was unfortunate, but like he blamed the Knicks for that. Like I was like,
yeah, hey, he's minding his business in a strip club at 4:00 in the morning. Why should anything? So I'm just trying to look at anything. Let us know your thoughts in the chat room. Again, please hit that like, subscribe, and reminder buttons. We greatly appreciate it. Also, when you have a chance, please check out Nick Morning Drive with Freezy, 8 a.m. every morning, where that man's unbelievable. I don't know how he does that grind. He's amazing. He's absolutely amazing. What endurance. I know I'd love to join him, but I can't. But one of the things I took away from tonight was statistically, again, I don't think we're going to get Cade, but Suggs or our brother Guillermo's Josh Christopher would be a really nice addition. But I think just from a mindset, it'd be healthy for us to say, you know what, we may have a really long year with this point guard situation, and the worst part about it is that we're going to that retards the development of other players when you don't have the people that know their spots, run the sets properly, etc.
I think it is malpractice if Leon Rose does not make a move to bring in a point guard. I think Leon Rose from the summer knew that this team needed somebody when he was flirting with Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook and even John Wall. He knows what this team is missing. And like I said, it's malpractice to the team as a whole to go into 72 games with a trio of Peyton, DSJ, Frank. I even add Quickly in there because I don't think Quickly is a natural point guard.
No, he's not. Yeah.
So he has to have someone of some kind of. I don't know who is going to be.
Oh, because that was my next question. So, but who's available out there for for us at the point guard. I just don't see anyone that's really out there. And
The
also, without
only person I think gonna shake loose is Lonzo Ball.
yeah,
Because
without
don't they got
Brandon,
Kyra Lewis?
If
Don't
I
they got
was,
Kyra Lewis?
they do have Kyra Lewis, and they have a few other guards. As a matter of fact, also.
Yeah.
if I was a betting man, I'd say Rubio.
Oh, I'd love that. Oh my God,
Perfect.
he loved the kid.
Perfect compliment.
Oh
Just-
yes.
Just because I don't know. It's because I don't know how a Rubio Russell backcourt is going to work long term. I don't know if they're going to want to give up a guard to get bigger in the front court to team up to tandem with Cat. Something in my mind that says, that's something that you would keep an eye out. That's the only one that I could probably think of, either Rubio or Conley Jr. Just on the standpoint of the other team's needs, and I'm including Julius Randle in this.
Wait,
and salary.
Julius is so bad. Why would the other teams want him?
I have no idea. I'm hoping that Leon Rose can go up there and pull a Sopranos and be like, listen, you're gonna take this, or I'm gonna send one of my nephews over to your house.
Oh man, I'd send one of my nephews over with me.
So, like I said, if anyone, I can see Rubio because he is a floor general.
Well said, man. He makes people around him better. We were talking about Amari yesterday and stuff. Man, us watching the players like Steve Nash, that every time he went from one team to the other, their wins went up drastically. He had that talent to, make the players. And again, what the hell does it take watching film and stuff to say, this is the spot that guy likes the ball? It's like, don't these guys watch film? Don't they practice with him and see him practice where their spots are? It's like they're totally oblivious.
You know what it was tonight too? Listening to you guys talk just made me have flashbacks of watching this game. There was a lot of selfish basketball being played tonight. The ball didn't move enough. The ball didn't go where it should have went. And anytime that's happening, it's selfish basketball.
Yeah. Just a shout out to the chat. Delano Steele, D Chan, Sherwin M, White Falcon. I don't have the voice to do it like Freezy, so I'll just do it my style. But thank you all for your support. It's greatly appreciated. Danny Landis, how are you, man? Hope all is well. So yeah. So let's segue over to impressions of RJ. You want to kick it off, Be Well?
Yeah, I that's the guy I wanted to talk about tonight with you guys, because tonight I think is an example for me. So I don't think he started off the game well, in my opinion. I know I'm going to get to it. I'm going to give him credit. I thought he was rushing. I thought he did some crazy things. He had a few early turnovers, but the way he played the rest of the game, he was smart. He took the right shots. He got in the mid-range. He got easy buckets. He got off on the fast break. Everything was in the flow of the offense. So, and he actually had one nice pass to Burks in the corner, if you remember the three-pointer. So the only thing I'll say about RJ tonight, again, when he's playing in the flow like he did tonight, that's the type of – he had 25 points. He had 4 rebounds. The only thing I need to see come up is 2 assists is not enough for him. He needs to be around 5 assists. I think he can. I think he can get there. I do believe he can be a better playmaker. But overall, the shots he took is what I'm looking for from RJ.
Yeah, I was hoping for a little better than 1 for 5 from 3. But you know what? If he shot 4 for 5 from the foul total, from the foul line, I'll take that tonight as a positive.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree.
So what do you think, Ron?
RJ, I didn't have a problem with RJ tonight. What I wanted to see was the adjustment at the free throw line. I didn't want to see him have another bad free throw shooting night. And the guy went 4 for 5. If I'm not, if I'm correct,
You are correct. Yeah.
4 for 5. That's what I wanted to see. I don't want to see you keep making the same mistakes game in and game out. And I kind of feel I really feel like RJ at this point is the guy who should be handling the ball. They should just let him play have him at the playing the point
Point forward.
because he really is a floor general, and he's somebody that's not really. That's why I always like to compare him to Jimmy Butler. The guy don't care about his stat line. The only thing he cares about is winning, and he'll do what needs. And he played both sides of the ball tonight too. And you know he's one of my players. Spotlight man, I'll give him a game ball if we won the game tonight. But you know you can't give no game balls on a loss. But if it's a bright spot tonight, was two fellas, and I start with RJ, and then Alex Burks.
Art.
Yeah, I agree with Ron. Like he just has to become like his mid range is so improved. Like he was hitting fadeaway. He was freaking, and then he looks a lot faster this year.
Doesn't he? That first step, we commented yesterday that wow, last year it was like he was running in mud. It was like
he was wearing cement. He was wearing cement shoes.
Yeah, I was stunned. I was like, wow, man. All I heard for 2 years prior to this is that the next prodigy is this kid, RJ Barrett. And then a few years later, he's at Duke. And then we get it. I'm like, wow, I've been hearing his name. And then, at Duke and everything. But when you watch him I watched him in the first Summer League game. It was like, Jesus, man. I can't believe his lack of explosion and athleticism.
Yeah.
But I was happy that I saw a lot more quickness. So
I just, all I like this year, like I just want to see his like mid, like don't force up like threes. Like you're like good on the mid range shot right now. Just master the mid range shot and then start extending your range. You're still young.
Yeah.
Chuck didn't agree with me yesterday that I said I definitely think that RJ will be a 20-point scorer. And
absolutely.
I think he's going to be between 18 to 20.
Yeah.
It really depends on his free throw shooting.
Exactly. But I also said that I expect him to be like a 20-point scorer, but 12 of those points are going to be paint level. And he'll maybe hit one or two jumpers in the game, and the rest will be from the foul line. But his game is getting to that basket. And wow, you think the second time around they have film on him and his tendencies, that knowing that most of the time he goes to his left, very seldom goes to his right, and that these are the high level people. The kid, he's dominant. You cannot stop
what
him.
the Knicks are doing better these two games is running the transition. Like they never ran the transition last year.
Did RJ take the most shots tonight?
I believe
He did,
so.
17.
17. Okay.
Yeah, and I agree with White Falcon. I think if RJ had Austin Rivers, he could kick it out to him to get more assists to hit the threes. Like him and Alec Burks would be like the perfect like tandem backcourt that RJ could pass to.
And that's why I think he may end up being the point guard when he comes back, because he can play the point guard position and he can run a team better than these dudes we got. But you know what I thought about with RJ, wanted to touch on it again when you started talking. I thought about with RJ has been groomed by no other than Steve Nash. So it don't surprise me that he wants to make people around him better, because that was Steve's whole game. Steve could shoot, but he didn't. I used to be like, man, why don't you shoot more? But he wasn't concerned with that. He was concerned with getting other people involved, and that's RJ's game to a T.
Yeah, like I remember when Trey Jones was out at Duke, and Coach K like just gave him the point guard duties, and he gave I think who were they playing? I think it was Syracuse, and like he just kept going, feeding Alex O'Connell. He's like, yo, you're gonna like drop 30 tonight, and then like Alex O'Connell like credited him. He's like, yeah, RJ gave me the confidence and blah blah blah. I think RJ could do it. Like he's shown good signs so far.
Yeah. What do you think, Kev?
I think it's putting a lot on RJ because of the style of his play, to ask him to go out there and score 20 points and to get 10 assists.
Nobody said 10 assists.
I'm not saying 10 assists. I'm just using that as just throwing a number out there. I'm just saying it's unfair for RJ. He's not James Harden, or not James Harden yet. So if RJ is going to focus on, hey, RJ, we need you to score, then have him score. It's unfair, and it's because of his lack of shooting. I think because he's more of a, I'm gonna have to drive and bullet my way. It's hard for him to focus on doing that and have to set someone else up, which is where a good point guard comes in.
No, I disagree with that.
Yeah.
I disagree with that because if he's going to be in, my personal opinion is if he's going to be in the paint as much as I want him to be,
He's breaking down the defense.
he has to learn how to make. He has to learn how to find the open guy, even if he's not the point guard. And I agree, 10 assists, that's unrealistic. But all the great players in this league that are slashers and that attack, you got to be at 5-6 assists in this league. You have to be. You can't just be a Carmelo 30 when they're different players, but you can't just average 1 or 2 assists a game. That's not acceptable. RJ's too good of a player. He has to have the awareness to hit the open guy. He can't control if they make the shots, but he's gotta hit like Burks, how he did in the corner where he found Burke. He has to do that more. We didn't see RJ make that pass last.
Yeah, he forced a few passes. That's for sure.
Yeah, like point guards aren't the only ones that should be getting assists. Like every position should be getting assists. Like that's why the Warriors are so great because everybody could get assists.
Yeah.
When I say that, I mean I don't want RJ to be playing like point forward or point guard or anything. Is what I mean by that exactly. I think there's a reason the Utah Jazz and the Phoenix Suns for years have been trying to get point guards to take their all-star 2 guards off the ball. There's a reason for that. And so you're saying Utah and Phoenix have been trying to do something, but you want New York to do something completely different from what they've been trying to do for years.
What are you talking about?
There's a reason why Phoenix has gotten CP3 to play with Devin Booker to get Devin Booker off the ball. But you want to put RJ Barrett on the ball.
Yeah, but you don't have to have just one guy that distributes. Like everybody should be able to.
I'm not saying that. You're saying you want RJ Barrett to control the offense. Yeah, I'm saying when you have a 2 guard like that,
we want RJ
to have them off the ball so they can be more effective.
Devin Booker's a different player.
This is the thing though, Kev. Always saying is the way this roster is currently constructed with these point guards that we have no point guards. He's our best.
That point.
He's our best guy at setting people up. Let's just face it. It's just unfortunate he plays the 2, but he's our best player out there getting passes, getting people the ball where they want it.
But Kevin, just to your point with the Devin Booker thing, I think that's not a good example because Devin Booker, I want him shooting the ball most of the time. RJ is an attacker. He's a slasher. And I want him finishing a lot of the time, but he's going to be in the paint.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying the premise of it. Like Utah wants Donovan Mitchell to play off the ball. Donovan Mitchell is a slasher, isn't he? That's why they brought in Mike Conley so they can have Donovan Mitchell off the ball.
I think Donovan.
They still play him on the ball.
Donovan Mitchell.
That's because Mike Conley was bad last year. That's why they had to put Donovan Mitchell back on the ball. But the mindset was get a point guard to take our star 2 guard off the ball.
I think Donovan Mitchell is more of a shooter than a slasher.
He's more of a slasher. He's not. He's a better shooter than.
He's Dwayne Wade 2.0.
Yeah, but he's a slasher.
He can slash, but I think he's more of a shooter. That's just my opinion.
Well, he's definitely more of a slasher, but that's the whole premise. You want to have a point guard to take the pressure off of the shooting guard. And there's other examples. I'm just using those 2 as the prime examples.
Well, RJ hasn't been playing shooting guard if you last
so 2 games.
It looks like that's his spot, the small forward so far.
Our friend State of New York said that Knicks said RJ is still better on the ball, and hold on here, he made that RJ's more effective on ball than Booker. RJ's in his natural role.
Kevin, I get your point. I mean, like you're right that you're asking RJ to do a lot. I get it, You're absolutely right. But the situation we're in calls for more.
I'd rather have him like learning while doing it than giving it to like DSJ or Peyton or somebody. You
Right.
know? I'd rather give it to somebody that has a future here.
Yeah.
That's just a failure to, and I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying Johnny Bryant needs to take DSJ and lock him into a room with just film and just be like, you need to get it
Johnny
together.
Bryant is God. He's not gonna.
I was gonna say, come on. We've seen people that you could show stuff, and unfortunately, it just, like we said, boxers. The minute they're under pressure, they just go right back to what they know, everything that they were taught. He just doesn't have those instincts. Some things that can be taught, and other things are instinctual, and he just doesn't have that type of game or that. Nor will I think he ever will. And also, just there's times when he goes in, you see little nuances from Peyton or other point guards from a spacing as they hit that. They'll change their pace a little just to get that opening, to get that pace, that pass in.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't do that. He's out of control most of the time. He doesn't know that. To try to create that lane to get that pass in there, and then it's forced, and so many of his passes, he doesn't get it to the guy so they can just go right in. They have to catch it here and then bring it over, and
by the time they do that, the defender's on them.
You got it, and it's aggravating. Just real quick, Freezy, if you're listening, we miss you. We hope everything's cool, but you're here in spirit.
Every time I see Reggie Bullock take a shot, it's just frustrating.
We miss you.
Donovan Mitchell averaged 4.3 assists last year.
I'd take that on this team.
I would take that with RJ. If RJ could average 4.3 assists, I'll take that.
That'd be great. That'd be amazing. Because we already know he's a good rebounder too. So
and he's a good passer, so it ain't far fetched to believe that he could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some people in the chat are saying we should try to get George Hill.
You know what, George Hill would be better than any of these point guards. He came from San Antonio. He can run an offense.
I wanted him that year that we signed Tim Hardaway Jr. for 5 years or something.
For the first or second time.
That was a terrible contract.
Steve Miller just got the power. He's like, yes, what am I going to do? Give Ron Baker and Tim Hardaway Jr.
And if you remember, when he did that, that's what kept us from getting David Griffin.
Yep.
Griffin was on the way coming, and once that happened, he was like,
When Woj tweeted that, I thought I honestly cried. I cried.
That would have been a game changer for us.
I was upset, and I know you guys were too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was like, Tim Hardaway Jr. Why is he back?
Yeah, but I think you're all right that we gotta hope that Austin Rivers, even that he's not a pure point guard, but he's a coach's son, that'll be able to do a hell of a lot better than these people of understanding how to run the scheme, the set for Tibbs, because they're lost. They're just absolutely lost.
And let's not forget that he was with CP3 too, so that's when he got better too. When CP3 was beside him.
Yeah. So you were kind of rough on Alec Burks yesterday, Kevin.
Yes, I was.
I thought about you tonight, boy, when he was lighting stuff up.
I was sitting there watching that game. I was like, I don't know if Alec Burks was listening to me last night, but I'm glad he actually showed up. He must be like, that Kev got on me last night. I need to do something tonight because I don't want him to get on me 2 nights in a row. But yeah, I'm glad that Burks was hit. Here's the thing, and this goes. You can have some bad shooting nights. You can have a bad stretches of shooting nights. This team isn't going to go 8 for like 33 every night from 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some nights they'll go 4 for 33.
Shots will start to fall. Reggie Bullock isn't going to go 1 for 7, or I don't know what he went. Was it 1 for 7? 2 for? What did he go?
He went 2 for 8 from 2 and 1 for 7 from 3.
So yeah, he's not going to go 1 for 7 for 3 every game.
That's for sure.
Say what you want about Kevin Knox, but Kevin Knox isn't going to shoot this bad every game. I mean,
you better hope not.
most of the games.
But like I said, the shots will fall. It's still early. It's the preseason. These games don't count. Just shoot. Hey, shooters are going to shoot. Just shoot them until it gets out of your system. That's what my coach used to say.
Yeah. Art, what'd you think?
That's why John Starks was able to shoot 19 shots in Game 7.
What I think about who?
Burks tonight.
Oh, Burks was great. He's our best shooter. He's way better than Mo Harkless. Because last year, everyone was saying, "Oh, Randall and RJ can't work," but they just needed that one shooter to space the floor, and then Burks could be that guy. And I think if you add Rivers to the starting lineup, instead of Payne, that would create better spacing. So I liked what I saw.
Yeah, hustled on D.
Yeah, he was good on defense. He shared the ball. That's all you can ask for.
Ron?
I think he is exactly what this team needs. We need a couple more shooters like him. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think he's a 40.2% three-point shooter.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't have enough shooters. And one thing I must say, but as bad as our team played tonight, as bad as we played tonight, we had a chance down the stretch to win. And you know why? Because as bad as they played tonight compared to the first night on defense, they played defense.
Yeah.
It just was in spurts. It wasn't like it was last night. If they would have played like they did the night before last, we would have had another W. As bad as, because the numbers was almost identical to what we did the last game against this team, shooting wise. So
yeah, and I think you made a wonderful point the other night. He's only 29. So if he shoots like this, maybe he shouldn't be a one and done for us with his contract and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Be well.
Yeah, I mean, you guys said it. I don't really have much to add. We don't have a lot of shooting, and he can shoot. So he's gonna play. He's gonna start, and he had a good year last year. He shot the ball well. Even Bullock's got to play. Even Quickly's got to play because we just don't have shooting. So yeah, he's very valuable, and he doesn't need the ball. And he's unselfish. I've saw him make passes, but he's just a shooter. So yeah, I like the sign.
Yeah, he's in his prime at 29.
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely. So let's switch over. What were your impressions of Nerlens Noel? Just real quick, he was 1 for 4 from. Obviously, he's not going to be shooting threes, but he had 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, plus 10. He finished with 3 points, but compared to Mitch, who was a nightmare tonight. Also, did you hear Mitch say today that he's okay with not starting?
Yeah,
he must be got a PR person.
Yeah.
Somebody got in his ear. Just said.
What I give Mitch respect for, though, he didn't foul out. They played him with foul trouble, and he adjusted.
Kudos to Mitch for that one.
Yeah, but he shouldn't have been in foul trouble.
Well, he had 5 personal fouls, man. He was 1 away from fouling out.
He adjusted. He finally adjusted when he had 5.
He had 5,000.
And I'm glad this happened when y'all said this. I'm watching the game over again, and when you said that, this camera showed over to Kenny Payne and Nerlens Noel, giving Mitch pointers on the defense. You just put your hands up. You don't have to jump.
Yeah, you don't have to block.
I remember centers back in the 90s. They didn't even. You just put your arms up. You're already 7 feet tall.
That's what they taught him to do.
So now it's you don't have to jump. They got to shoot over you. You have your arms straight up. How that's 10 feet.
Yeah,
So I was watching it, and y'all were talking about Nerlens Noel and his defense and him giving pointers. I just realized they're playing small ball right now. But that's my whole thing about Nerlens Noel is
the Obi and Randall front court.
Yeah, That's
That was a sight to see.
like I said earlier, they have no girth. Like, imagine if this team, I'm not saying anything is wrong with Nerlens Noel, but imagine if this team has signed Boogie Cousins instead of Nerlens Noel.
That's the scoring right there. We would have needed. He would have caused people. He would have got double team. It would have made Julius Randle better. It would have just made everything a whole lot easier because you
And
would have.
surprisingly enough, he went to Kansas. I mean, he went to Kentucky. So I don't know why he wasn't on the Knicks radar. I mean,
because he wanted to play with his buddy from Kentucky, John Wall.
well, at the time he didn't know that John Wall was going to Houston.
It was the injuries. I think that's why they shied away from him. 2 years in a row.
I wouldn't mind that they signed both because Tibbs, said a couple of weeks ago that, they asked him coming back, what's the biggest changes in the NBA? And he said every team has at least one center that can shoot threes and for spacing purposes, etc. And we know that's definitely not Nerlens or Mitch's thing. So Boogie could have been maybe change things up. And
Spellman can shoot that three.
He could, but he doesn't have the size of Boogie.
But he got the weight. He got the weight. He just don't have the height.
Yeah. I think Jenny Craig's going to be running after him soon, though. So,
that's my main thing I took is the fact that they're both. When I look at them and I see them like either one of them next to like Okafor, it's like, God, Okafor is just so much bigger than they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but I gotta respond to the person in the chat. Somebody said Boogie is a nutcase. I said it the other night. Everybody need to check out that Houston press conference when he came in there. Listening to Boogie Cousin talk, it sounded like somebody who finally got it. And he said it himself. He said them injuries really made him reevaluate a lot of stuff. And you look at him, the guy's in the best. He said it himself that he's in the best shape of his life, and you can look at him and tell he's not that big Sacramento Boogie Cousins no more. You got to think about it. That guy done been in two organizations that known for winning championships. He done been with Golden State and he done been with LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
You know that's going to have an effect on you. Even if you don't play, you getting to watch this guy to see how you're supposed to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can tell it rubbed off on him. When I heard that press, I was like, I had to blink. I was like, is this Boogie Cousins talking? Because you remember how he used to be with the media.
Yes, sir.
It was none of that. He was very humble talking. It was like somebody just coming into the league for their first year, the way he was talking.
Yeah.
But I just think like you have some of his size and skill set on this team, then
that would make even Obi better.
Yeah. So I mean, and besides, if you recall, Boogie was still a really good passer also.
Yeah. He was the best center for a while there in the league.
He really was the best center.
He was Jokic before Jokic.
For a while.
Hey, boy, that's a very good comparison.
And
very good.
Shout out to Sim. He's in the chat. Hope all is well, Sim. What's popping in your words?
But yeah, that's when I look at this starting rotation, even if you have Alec Burks, it's still the spacing is just not good. Peyton can't shoot. Nerlens can't shoot. I don't trust Randall to shoot like that. RJ is iffy on his shot at best. So the spacing is just bad. I'm not going to say that Leon Rose kind of, in a way, hoodwinked us with a little bit of this construction of this team. With not getting a big man that can shoot.
No, I think he's thinking long. He playing the long game. He ain't playing checkers.
I'm just saying not getting a big man that can shoot to complement also.
You know what it was? He was trying to get compliments to the players that was on the roster. And that's what you want. If you're going to have an interchangeable roster, you want guys who can do the same things. That's pretty much interchangeable if you take them out the lineup.
Why is Obi shooting from like 45 feet?
I told you.
and I'm gonna tell you, don't sleep on that 18 million that we still got in the back pocket, because they're gonna spend that money. They're not gonna
leave for Conley.
My question: what happens if say we don't spend it, what happens? Like we get fined or something?
The money will get split up between the players that are already on the roster,
That's why they're gonna spend it.
and so the 18 million will be divided up against everyone. So gives like
But
maybe an extra 2 million per
they have until
player
the end of the year, right? That's
to the
the thing.
last game of the season.
Yeah, okay.
They're gonna spend it.
But
They're
you
gonna spend
only
it.
of that 18 million, they only have to spend like 7 million to get to
To that floor.
the
Floor.
floor.
Yeah.
So,
There's going to be like some 3-team trade that we're going to facilitate.
but it all comes down to, like I said, and like Steven mentioned earlier, is who is going to be available. And also you got to look at this. Where are we going to be as a team? Are we going to be like we're good enough that we might need that extra piece? Or are we going to be sellers to take on contracts? Because those are two different types of trades.
Absolutely.
If you're trading someone or trading for someone to make your roster better, then that means that the team is exceeding expectations.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're taking on contracts to take on contracts because you're bad and you're going to take on those to get assets, that means the team is underachieving greatly.
Mhm.
So it's all depending on where we are as a team, as well as who's buying and selling as well.
Yeah.
You know, Ron used, I think, the 20 game milestone for us to know which way we're going to go. That get a finger on the pulse. What do you think, Bewell?
About Noel? Or,
Anything you want. We're pretty
Yeah.
much went through the lineup, so let's just freestyle.
I mean,
any thoughts you have about the Knicks or anything else, man?
Yeah, I just think we all knew the point guard situation coming into this year was not great. Alfred Payton, the first preseason game, he had 10, 6, and 7. I'm like, man, if you can give me that every night, I'll take it. But it's just not going to happen. He's inconsistent. So this season, again, is all about, for me, development. I want to win, but I'm also realistic, and I know Tom Thibodeau can get them to compete and play hard, but there's still a talent gap there. And I hope I'm wrong. I'm using the 20 game measuring stick too, because I think the first 20 games, this is a very difficult first 20 games if you really break it down and look at it. But we got to be patient. It stinks to say that because we're not patient, but we have to still be patient. But I'm happy. Last thing I'll say before I pass it off to somebody else is quickly. I'm happy he's going to play. He was a little hesitant tonight. It was his first time out there. He was handling the ball a lot, but there's something there, and he's going to have to play. He's got to be a part of this rotation, and I think he'll be good.
Yeah. Knicks at Night, please hit that like, subscribe, and reminder buttons. Shout out to the greatest mods the Lord have made, Bodega and Sima. Appreciate everybody in the chat for all your help. So, Ron, your thoughts? And again, we're going to be freestyling from this point on. So, anything that you think about, let's talk about it.
Yeah, I think about that 20 game window is a good topic, about development. And a lot of times when we tend to think about development, we think about development so far as our players developing. But a part of that development is finding out who needs to go and plotting your future. And so that's what I think about with that 20 games, because that's what I say. I'm not going to pass judgment on anybody. I am going to critique you if you're playing good, like we always do. Knicks fans, we tell you when you're playing good. When you ain't playing good, we tell you too. You need to shape up or ship up. But 20 games in, I'll know, because with this coaching staff, like I say over and over, if you ain't playing for this one, your time in the league might be up.
Yeah, and like some of the people said in the chat about George Hill or something, if we, their development's gonna, stall or just be without somebody helping them on. Only so much you can learn in practice. You need the speed of the real game and going against that elite talent. And If you don't have somebody getting your ball, making that penetration, kicking it out, and directing, like you said, a floor general, pointing where they should be, pulling it back, and just telling everybody, getting that set and stuff. How are they supposed to learn? Art?
Man, it's gonna be a long year. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna be a long year. Like, it's gonna be like a roller coaster because like there'll be nights that we're just like hitting everything, playing good, very good defense. Like we might like upset a couple teams, and then all of a sudden we'll be like burnt out and lose to like Cleveland or something.
Unfortunately, some people in the chat are using the dreaded T word already.
The tank.
I don't understand
It's
how
gonna
we
be like a natural
tank, and we
a
played.
natural tank because we're just not that good.
We played 2 preseason games, and I think people need to
Plus,
calm
it ain't no
down.
guarantee with that. I mean, in the past you could use that, but there ain't no guarantee with that. The league done put a stop to that. You can go ahead and lose on purpose. And,
No,
and you won't
I
get
don't think the Knicks are gonna lose on purpose at all.
They're going to try to win.
That's why I think we'll do better in the draft because we won't purposely be trying to throw away games.
D Chan in the chat.
I hope so. I still think it's a conspiracy that we sold our soul for Patrick Ewing because we've yet to get
envelope.
We've yet to move up since that frozen envelope.
Yeah, I was laughing yesterday, thinking the same thing that we were talking about. How are we going to get that number one? Is like, I got to call my Uncle Vito in Brooklyn and maybe get a frozen envelope for next year's draft. So,
Adam Silver, please.
I don't like it's getting annoying because like all these like young studs are like playing in small market teams like Ja Morant, like he's playing in Memphis, like Zion's playing in New Orleans, freaking LaMelo is playing in Charlotte.
Yeah,
like give the Knicks a star for once.
We should have got a top 2 pick in that draft. At least we should have got the 2. That's still bothers.
Hey, D Chan from the chat is asking, and we'll go around the horn. We'll start with you, Be Well. What was your impression of Killian Hayes?
Killian Hayes, I think he looked more confident tonight. What did he finish with? I'm curious actually what his line was, but yeah, he's a good young player. I mean, the first preseason game.
Yeah, Killian. He played 25 minutes, 2 for 11 from 2, 1 for 6 from 3, 1 from 2 from the line, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, +7, finished with 6 points.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. I mean, his shooting obviously has got to get better, but I liked him coming out. I just, again, with young players, we can't overreact to a few preseason games. Same thing with Obi tonight. I know there's going to be a lot of overreaction. And I said this whole year when Obi struggles again, he's going to get some blame, but the point guard situation is going to make him look a lot worse. But yeah,
Ron, your thoughts on Killian?
I wasn't too impressed, especially the first game. He looked lost. And he looked scared.
Yeah, they were forcing travels on the kid.
In this game, I watched it closely. I said because I said I was going to watch him closely, and his ball handling skills, he needed to tighten up with them dribbles that he was doing too. And I was like, because there was quite a few times where he almost got ripped or did get ripped, but he's not. To me, I'm not impressed with him. Not right now. I mean, he can always get better, but as all these young players can. But currently, right now. He's not no Ja Morant. None of them guys coming into the league. I don't see it.
Art, what was your thoughts?
He takes a lot of bad shots.
Yeah, his shot selection was awful.
His shot selection is awful. But he plays pretty good defense. I'll give him that. But like, he's still young, and I don't know. I wasn't too big on him. If it was Obi or him at 8, I would have took Obi still.
Could you imagine that kid in the Garden with the crowd?
Oh my God.
We got booed.
It'd be Kevin Knox all over again.
Yeah. What do you think, Kev?
I'm just saying that to pick with you.
He looked better than the first game. I'll say that.
Yeah, he looked better.
He didn't look as intimidated the second go around that he did the first game. The team played better clearly, and I'll make this point, and I know a lot of people haven't even thought about this. I wish the Knicks would have just re-signed Derrick Rose. I know at the time that might have been a little odd, but we'd be in a better situation right now if we still had Derrick Rose on the team.
Absolutely.
Yeah, his jumper and his older age really has come around.
I mean, older age, people think he's only like what, 31?
Yeah.
People don't realize he's 31. He's
I know, but I
younger
think
than
the
Westbrook,
knees of a 50-year-old, though.
you can't tell.
Man, he was putting up some
Yeah, that shot is
Kobe
beautiful.
Bryant shots, man.
Detroit played a lot better with Derrick Rose on the court.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
True.
There were
Very
plays where Derrick Rose and Blake Griffin, the two old guys, were leading the breaks for
Yo,
Detroit.
but Blake looks old though.
He do, especially on that one play where he tried to act like he was going down.
Yeah.
Wally said the same thing. Wally's like, yeah, a couple years, 5 years ago, that would have been slammed right in your face.
I think Blake has evolved his game more from just trying to dunk on everybody. Is much more well rounded now. Than what he was, with the Clippers back then. And that's a testament to his work ethic that knows that, I got to change how I play.
Yeah.
If I'm going to, have longevity, then, I know that my athleticism isn't the same that it used to be.
Yep.
So how can I still be an effective player? Because he was an all-star, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Just injuries, man. Injuries.
I'll say something crazy right now. I would take Blake Griffin right now over Julius Randle. Yeah, I said it.
I wouldn't be mad with that.
How good of a passer he was.
I'd take
first game, and he's a very good passer.
He don't turn the ball over.
But that contract is ridiculous.
Yeah, his contract is terrible. But
This is I want someone to help me understand something. When people say a player's contract is crazy, if you all know you're not going to get Giannis or any of these A-list free agents to come here, what difference does it make if you bring in somebody who has a big contract? Because it's not like you're going to pair them up with anyone else that you're going to get in free agency. So what difference does it make?
My only response to that, though, is you always want to make sure that you got money. It's like depleting your bank account, your savings account.
But here's my thing. People were killing this because they were like, oh, Westbrook is going to take up half of the cap. And it's like, okay, but who are you spending that other cap on?
Yeah,
it's not like any of these other players that we got for $5 million each.
I tell you what.
And would Westbrook make this team better?
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
we wanted Westbrook. Yeah,
I
wanted him.
I'm with you, Kevin, but my only thing is, if it's just for that year, but if he's going to be clogging our cap for 2-3 years down the line, that's when.
Who are we getting 2-3 years down the line if we didn't have Russell Westbrook?
And not only that, you're not paying nobody else. That's the thing. We're not paying anybody else no big money.
No one is coming here
that's
to save us.
But
my answer to that
what would the price be on Obi's development if we got Blake?
That's true.
It actually would help it.
I think it would help because here's the thing. I know Blake Griffin could play a small ball 5.
And I'm going to tell you another reason why it would
better
help.
than Randall could.
It's for the same reason, with me being a Dolphins fan, that I hated the fact that we kept Ryan Fitzpatrick and had Tua behind him. I'm like, he don't need to look at what Ryan Fitzpatrick does because he gonna spread them around like mayonnaise. He gonna throw some to the other team and he gonna throw it to your team. And that I didn't want my rookie to see that.
All right.
Same thing with Randall. He gonna have his nights where he look like an all-star, and then he gonna have his games where he look like.
Kevin, to be fair though, they had to trade for Westbrook. It wasn't a situation where they could just say, "Oh, we'll give you money."
Didn't you just complain that nobody on this team looked bad, looked good?
I think that was
so
on
now
the
you want
table,
to keep them.
but I think Houston wanted too much.
Which one is it?
Are you
Leon
talking to
Rose
me or
looked into it.
Yeah, you can't sit here and say, these players are bad, but you want to keep them instead of getting a bona fide all-star.
I don't
Somebody
wanna
that you know is a bona fide
Yeah,
all-star.
but they were asking for picks. They weren't asking for just players. They
And
wanted picks.
You
Yeah,
got
they
like
wanted picks.
85 second-round picks. We can give up some.
I don't
No.
want to trade any picks.
Because here's the thing. You're not going to draft all the players that you have picks for. You know that, right?
It's true.
That's true. But I'm just
So if you're going to give up some for a bona fide superstar.
Yeah, but I'd rather use picks for situations where you know
Where
that
you
that
can get somebody, right?
not for Westbrook.
Yeah.
There's going to be another guy down the line when we look attractive, hopefully, God willing, that will be available, and then I'll say yes, put that pick in the deal. We now are still about asset compilation. We're not
Yeah.
about giving away anything.
Yeah. In
Here's the
fact,
thing.
the Nothing But Nick's Godfather Sim in the chat said the idea is to stay flexible so that you can capitalize when an opportunity presents itself.
Here's
Exactly.
the thing. The
Shout out
opportunity
to
has
Sam.
presented itself
Shout out.
a couple times, and we've said no. But here's the thing. Nobody young, nobody 23, 20, 22, 23, 24 is going to opt out, going to want out anytime soon. The
You don't
players
know
that
that
are
yet.
wanting out, here's the thing. If Donovan Mitchell wanted out, he wouldn't have just signed a 5-year extension. If Devin Booker wanted out, he wouldn't have just signed a 5-year extension.
Why?
But you know what though? Those extensions really don't mean nothing anymore because those players can be disgruntled. Because look at James Harden. He's if anybody think he's gonna finish the season in Houston, they crazy.
Nobody
How old
thought
is
James
James
Harden was.
Harden?
And he's
Nobody-
still got 3 years left on that deal plus this
Yeah,
year.
no. He's already signed. He didn't just sign his
But I'm
deal.
saying,
Yeah, but
typically,
he
what
ripped
they
up a
used to
$50
say-
million a year offer.
Nobody thought
typically-
James
Yeah,
Harden
he
was
said
gonna
no
go.
because I already want out at this point in time. I'm saying Donovan Mitchell just signed his deal like
But-
2 weeks ago,
But think
and they
about
were
this.
like, "Oh, we can go ahead and wait and trade for Donovan Mitchell." It's like,
But
no,
think about
he's
this.
clearly committed to Utah at this point in time.
Kevin,
Normally-
did you think James Harden would be available? Did you think James Harden was going to be available? I'm asking.
To win,
And okay,
going into the season,
Going
no.
into this season. Okay. So I get your
Exactly.
point, but guys get disgruntled, become available. It happens.
And ain't
It happens.
nobody keeping a player on their
The
team
point with
that
Houston,
don't want to be there because that's going to cause a problem in your locker room.
Houston is a
So do we
situation
want to take
where
a disgruntled player then? If they become available, then the cancer comes to us.
It just depends on the type of player
the thing
Depends
about
and what made him disgruntled.
the thing
Sorry,
with-
Kev, take it.
No. The thing with Houston and Denver, I mean Houston and Utah is an ascending team. Houston is descending. So why would you be a young player on an ascending team wanting to get out? If you were a player on a descending team like James Harden is in Houston, well, you know, hey, this is breaking up. I don't want to be here. Those are two different scenarios. So you have to look at the scenario.
Sometimes people don't feel they're getting the touches, so they don't care they're on a winning team. It's a selfish mentality. They want their touches. They want to be the one option. Hey, why did Kyrie leave? A situation because he wanted to be the number one option.
Yeah, he want to be the man.
I never said
Kyrie is
Donovan was the guy that's going to come to New York and save us. I never
No, I
said that.
didn't think that was going to happen either.
Yeah. Hey, I
But,
got a
Shout out to Sean Carnes. I'm with you. I don't want Harden on the Knicks. I was just using him as an example that, contracts in the past when a player was on a 5-year deal and they had 3 years left on their contract, they would not be able to say nothing to be able to get out of the deal. But now, since it's this whole player empowerment movement where players got the power, if they start acting disgruntled, they ain't gonna be on those teams, man. Not for as much as them fan base would like for them players to stay. If them players start saying, "Hey, I want out of here," they can't keep him in the locker room. They're going to eventually have to move him at some point because that's going to cause a problem.
I mean, let's if you look around the league right now, right? This is look around the league and see who like these superstars and the teams that they're on. A lot of these players, the young ones, and I mean when I say this, the young ones are on ascending teams. So you're not going to expect any of them to want out anytime soon. The
What
players
about
that
Town?
want out are going to be a little bit older. They're going to be a 30-year-old kind of players as they're not been
Zach
here long
LaVine
enough.
is available in 2 years.
What about Carl Anthony Towns?
Carl Anthony Towns just got his best friend to come there,
Who?
Angelo Russell.
Yeah, exactly.
D'Angelo?
Yeah, don't sleep on Zion wanting to get out of there.
Why
That'd
would
be
we?
wrong.
Why would we want Zion?
No, I mean not for us. I mean, just to his point about what young player would want to get out of somewhere. I mean, they got rid of Alvin Gentry.
Every
Stan Van Gundy. We know how Stan can be. So that experiment might go south.
Didn't Ben Simmons say that he wants out, or wasn't there a rumor that he's not happy?
No, that whole thing is.
Oh, that would be
Ben Simmons is, but they trying to say. Here's the thing: Houston. When James Harden said he would put Philadelphia on their list, they connected the dots with Daryl Morey. But the thing of Houston is, if you're any kind of general manager, you're going to want someone like Ben Simmons in return.
Yeah.
So it's not like Ben Simmons said he wanted out. It's logical Ben Simmons would be included in a deal for James
Right.
Harden. Because why would he, what else on Philadelphia does anybody else have to give up for James Harden?
I mean, Kevin, I get your point. I think your point is valid that like you have to pay. What was the hassle with bringing Westbrook here? I think of all the guys that we were rumored to maybe be interested, I could understand the Westbrook because I think he would get the guys to play hard. He is a better passer than people actually give him credit for, and I understand your point. I didn't want to give away draft picks. I'm big on not giving away draft picks, but my point is, I do think again, in 2 or 3 years, hopefully we become more attractive and a guy is available. And then we make the splash with the assets we have. But the Westbrook one could have been one, but I don't know. They didn't do it.
Hey, Sim, unfortunately, with Freezy not here today, we would love for you to join the channel, the chat tonight, the video chat. But if we can, work virtually. Sim said when Ben Simmons leaves, he's going to go to the Lakers. So, hey, Tayshawn from the chat also asked a question for us. That what's your thoughts about what the Knicks have to do to change this culture to possibly attract people to come here? You want to take it, Be Well?
I didn't hear the question. Can you read the question again?
Yeah. From a culture perspective, what do you think the Knicks need to do to change our culture so eventually we'll become an attractive place for free agents to come?
They need to compete. They need to win, but they need to. It's baby steps. So right now we need to compete and be in games, and all the games that show that we're competitive. Even if we don't win, even if we don't win 30 plus games, we need to be competitive. We need to make this a place where we are a competitive basketball team. We have young talent. We need the young talent on the team to develop and improve. And show that to the agents of these other players that Obi Toppin and RJ Barrett, you want to play with those guys because those guys are legit NBA players. And in New York, you're the missing piece to help them get over the top. So it starts with that. And then also, Tom Thibodeau needs to prove, and he has a track record, but I think he has something to prove with what happened in Minnesota, that he can evolve and so yeah, there's just it is what it is right now. But we have a long way to go. But we're a little bit ahead than other teams because we got RJ and Obi, but we still have a long way to go to prove ourselves.
Yeah, Tayshawn, I personally feel that we're one draft away than having a bad season, but one draft away from possibly changing that perspective. But for having a nucleus of a Mitch, of a center, hopefully Mitchell, his attitude, I also feel he may not be here, but having an RJ, I should say, having an Obi, And if we were able to get a Suggs or a real Josh Christopher, I'm not saying Cade because that's my God, that would be. When I watched him last week, it was like I kept saying OMG, man. OMG. This is the total package. Using both hands, the way he uses his body, the way his taking angles and stuff. But I think that would be a real key for us to possibly changing that culture. Our culture is where they say, you know what, we have a young core. That I would go to because I only see good things coming in the future. What do you think, Ron?
Talking about who we should draft?
Not necessarily who we should draft. Tayshawn from the chat asked, what do you think we can do? What do we have to do to our culture to become an attractive place for a free agent to possibly come?
What we need to do is just stay consistent to whatever plan that we using. If we gonna play the long game, we need to build this thing the right way. We're gonna just build, and that'll attract players. When you look like you dysfunctional, you don't know whether or not you're gonna build a team through the draft or you're gonna be chasing free agents. That kind of stuff would turn me off. I wouldn't want to come in, and I love the Knicks. So it's all about direction, man. And if we're developing, we need to develop. If we decide, hey, we pulling the plug on the experiment, we going after it. Just go ahead and make up your mind.
Yeah. What do you think, Art?
It's all about the culture. Like you gotta kind of imitate what the Heat are doing, and the Warriors and all the good organizations do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they draft players that fit their system. I don't know if we define what our system is yet.
Yeah, I know, but we got to establish that,
Yeah.
Like you can't really count the Lakers because they are lucky that LeBron runs the organization, and LeBron owns an agency. So I don't know how that's not illegal, but
there's collusion.
Oh, it's conflict of interest, no doubt.
Like but whatever. But like I just need these draft picks that are coming up with Leon Rose. He has to hit. He has to show that he could build a winner, and he has to show he's not incompetent.
Yeah.
And so far, what he's done, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Kev?
You're muted.
You're on mute, Kevin.
Kevin, you're muted.
Can't hear you, bro.
We can't understand the words that's coming out your mouth.
The answer is simple. You need RJ and Obi to become all-stars.
I agree.
If they become all-stars, then it makes the outlook of the entire team different. Because if they have two all-stars, that means you're automatically a playoff team. You're a good team. 9 times out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be an attractive destination.
But don't you think that timeline is about 2 or 3 years away, though?
Probably. I'll say no more. If it takes 3 years for RJ and Obi to average 20 points each, and I would say 2.
I think it could happen next year.
I think probably next year.
But do you think hitting 20 points equates to being an all-star?
All-star level, I think. You got to look at. I mean, how they do the all-star games are so weird now.
Yeah, because they let the fans vote and all that kind of stuff.
But it's New York City, so if you got 2 good players in New York City, then they gonna get the votes. So you just had to have 2 good players. I think RJ can average 20 points this year.
No doubt, me too.
So next year, can Obi take that jump? And which all depends on who we have a point guard also.
Mm-hmm.
Can Obi take that jump to where he and RJ are complementing each other? And I don't care about tonight's game. I still got my fingers crossed about Kevin Knox. Y'all not going to stop me out of it.
Hey, I'm with you.
It's not going to happen on game 2 of the preseason.
He wearing the blue and orange, so I'm pulling for him. I'm just pointing out the flaws. That's all. But I'm pulling for him.
I just wish he wasn't wearing number 20. Like they just keep on handing that
Allen
number.
used the number. That number should be retired. Really.
Hey Kevin, when I watch Knox play now, there's only one person I think about, and that's you. I think about how you're doing.
That's an ugly thought.
I when I watch Knox,
Man,
I'm
don't
like-
put up Houston. That
Rudy.
we need a.
because
we-
my thing is I know the talent is there because I have seen it.
Respect.
I have seen it.
Yeah.
And that's what I think that is what's most frustrating. It's not because Knox isn't doing anything, he looks awesome. It's because we have seen Knox play well. And it's like that month of December when he won Rookie of the Month.
That's a nice jersey. Nice
When
jersey.
he won Rookie of the Month that December, when he was averaging like 20 points, he's like, where is that Knox at? Where is that Kevin Knox?
And that's the frustrating thing. We know he was able. He did it. It's a difference when you haven't done it, and we're hoping you can put up 20 points. But if you've shown that you've done that, and then all of a sudden it's gone, it's like, what happened?
Yeah,
like to your point.
That's what I think the most frustrating thing is, and I would love to see. I think all it's going to take is for Kevin Knox to have one good game. And for Kenny Payne to go, see, there it is.
He got to get out that slump, man, because he's been in that slump a long time. Dating back to last year, he's been in it a long time.
December of his rookie year.
Matter of fact, it ain't no slump. He been in that hotel.
I thought Knox just took so many rush shots tonight. Just was not set.
And that's the thing. That's where a good point guard, would give him the ball in places where he's comfortable, to where he's taking good shots.
And that's another thing when you got a point guard when you got point guards that can't score, that causes a problem too. When you got point guards that can't score, then everybody gonna collapse on the people who can shoot. And more often than not, I saw Knox tonight double team trying to take a shot, and more often than not, you're gonna miss those.
Yeah. Hey, Rob, I'm going to get to you for a second for your input, but just a shout out again to the chat room. TL, it was good seeing you the other night. Hope all is well. Kaiser Soze, Mitchell Prince, Sirhan T, Sean Kearns, Alton Lee, Russell McCall, Trust, Quattro Cinco, good to see you, Nudie, Julian Tran, all these people that support us. Please hit that like, subscribe, and reminder buttons. Please support. And also a shout out to Freezy. You're with us in spirit. We miss you, bro. So, Rob, what do you think about how we can change the culture to attract free agents?
It's simple. Just win. All we got to do is just start winning, and people will come. The New York Knicks are not the organization in the city speaks for itself. All we have to do is win, and anybody will come because they love playing in the Garden. It's not that hard. Look what Brooklyn did. All they did was put together a team, start winning, and Kyrie and Durant pops up at their door. First year as a playoff team. Next year, Kyrie and Durant at their door. All we got to do is just win 40 games. Any superstar say, well, I'm worth 15 by myself, or with another guy 20. And that's it. Build your foundation, win games, and you'll get any free agent you'll want. And this will be the first destination.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin Wright. This should make you feel good. Our coach's corner, Sim, said Knox is going to be just fine, man. Once that second unit starts to understand how to play together, he'll figure out how to fit in. He's going to be fine.
Like I said, I don't want to not put too much stock in all the things that, like I said, even like what Ron said a couple nights ago, even when Knox's shot isn't falling, he still played defense tonight. He didn't check out of the game mentally. He was still showing up on the other end of the court. It's just that shot just has to fall, because if his shot's not, I hate to say it, if his shot's not falling, then it's like, what else are you bringing to the table, Kevin?
Because that's what we need most from him.
Luckily, like I said, his defense hasn't wavered yet. He was still good on the defensive end when he was in the game. he's still a good help defender just because of his length. He, like I said, he just has to hit those shots. I mean, a lot of people have to hit shots. It's not just Knox. A lot of people have to start hitting shots on this team.
But as we said, it's a confidence game, especially, all you need is to just get that rhythm going, get a game going, have pain, and then your people, getting that rhythm going, and all of a sudden, you blink and your game's
it's
turned
one
around.
of those things as a former shooter. Once you see that first shot drops, then it's all uphill from there. He has to get that first one, so because he's kind of pressing. You can see like as the night went on, he started to press and take a lot of bad shots.
Mhm.
Like Thibodeau said, when Kevin Knight says good shots, he'll hit them. He just
Sometimes
can't.
he's trying to make up for the missed shots he already.
Yeah, so he has to hit the good ones.
Yeah.
So, but that'll come. It will. I'm already. You know what? I'm already past this game. I'm looking forward to Wednesday night to Cleveland. Luckily, Cleveland and Detroit are both bad teams. So
it's our first look at Isaac Okoro. I was very high on Okoro.
Got we passed on, but no, he got picked before. He got picked before. Yeah.
He went to Cleveland.
Cleveland.
He looked good.
Picked before us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
3, I think.
A couple before us.
3. I think Cleveland had the 5th pick.
Exactly. So
Detroit had the 7th.
Yeah. So Okoro coming out, I love defensive players like that. He's a dog, that mentality, and but his shot, first of all, he has very high IQ, very good passer. He's a really brutal, a lot of the reason he didn't shoot is because he's pretty much unstoppable. We talk about RJ. He's very difficult to stop. He's very good in driving, but I also brought up that even with the woes that people talked about his shooting, he had a higher shooting percentage in college than Jaylen Brown, than Kawhi, than Jimmy Butler. So Andre Iguodala. So I really, and I also think that he'll be all defense for the number of years. For the next 5 or so years, he's going to be an all defensive player. So he was definitely high on my list. So it'll be interesting for us to see him. What you guys think about Okoro?
What I find interesting is that Cleveland has started him at the 2 guard instead of the 3. That's what surprised me the most. I just saw the highlights. I haven't seen the full game that he played the other night. But I do know they started him at the 2 guard, which for a person who has a lack of shooting, really surprised me.
Yeah. Hey, just real quick, we got a request from Freezy for you, Ron. He wants to hear the words that put the joy in everybody's heart. Please.
Well, I'm gonna give you the one I had the night after that game.
I know you have 2 versions, and we're gonna hear this one.
Man.
I hope that did it for you, Freeze.
That's all I can give you. I can't give you the excited,
the positive one.
That one tonight was just I felt bad about it too, because I was talking trash on my little preview video, feeling like I said I wonder if these guys was a little overconfident, and I think they might have got overconfident, man, because we beat them guys 2 nights ago.
Yeah,
and them guys came out ready to play tonight, man.
Freezy said he loves us all, and he's singing in his Allen Iverson voice tonight.
Miss you, man.
Yeah, we miss you, big guy. It's
it's
not the same without you.
Hey, tell him Frank is a 6'4" Tree Rollins.
Yeah,
that'll get him happy. That will make him happy.
He loves saying that word.
Yeah. Hey, I saw some feedback, and I saw something earlier in the chat today. But JJ Redick talked about Kyra Lewis and said he had no idea how great of a shooter he is. He's a very good shooter. And I loved Kyra. I absolutely thought that he's about 2 or 3 years away from a floor generalship, but you can't teach speed. But I loved, the kid had good footwork, again, uses both hands. and good, very good shooter. And also, what I was impressed by, that he, hit foul shots and hit threes at the end of a game. So the big moment. So, with Kevin Knox, I never understood that pick. Meaning, so if we gave an example that we had the 8 and 27th pick this year, or 23rd pick, or whatever, that Knox was a 23rd pick, because I'd never use an 8 pick on somebody that has, I won't say motor again, because I don't like that word, but a maturity level. So Calipari says, he's maybe a little immature, but Kyra, he has that mentality where the game, you come to Madison Square Garden, between that, the fans and the media, you have to have a certain mentality. And I never thought Knox had that disposition to be a New York player, or at least, and it's hard to grow into that.
But I tell you this though, Steve, I think really Obi is going to usher in a new era for the league, man. And it might not happen this year. We might see it after the second half, depending on what happened with Julius. But I'm thinking teams are going to start trying to look for guys that have been in the league at least 2 or 3 years. Coming out of college 2 or 3 years. I think going after them 1 year players on potential, I think teams are going to get tired of getting burnt. Because I wish somebody would look up a stat of how many players that came out in the first round that flames out in that first year contract. Because it's got to be high. It's got to be high. These potential players.
Yeah,
these one and dones, and yeah.
It's something like, I think I looked up that stat before. It's something like 5% make it.
Wow.
I told
That's
you.
all the more reason why you don't take them.
Hi, how are you?
What's good, fellas?
What's up?
Yeah, Sims put the link back up.
Listen, I'm a big fan of y'all, man. Long time
No
Knicks
doubt.
fan. Been a Knicks fan since birth, so it's always good talking about the Knicks.
You got that blue and orange running through your veins. It's all good. Man.
Yeah. I'm a Bronx boy, so Knicks were everything and Yankees were everything. So I know there's some Mets fans in this world, but Knicks, I'm on the older side. So Clyde was my everything, man. I idolized Clyde, and I still do, actually. But his game, I'm so old, I remember him and playing at Southern Illinois and NIT. So, just a smooth style. I love players that are just silky smooth and they do stuff and it just looks effortless. And Clyde, whether it's jumper, whether, getting a foul in that jumper, and oh boy, those teams, the ball movement, the Bradleys and all those. I grew up with that, and then obviously we came into the Ewing years. But oh boy, I just say, before the Lord takes me, please allow us, myself and my fellow Knick family, to have a team that obviously I want the chip, but give us a team that we can say, wow, I'm proud of this team. So
that's my 99 Knicks team.
So I was talking about Kyrus. So I'm hoping that obviously the kid is going to be good, but I also, like I said, I don't think he's ready to run an offense yet.
No. But what do you say on his podcast, JJ?
Yeah, he just said he had no idea he could shoot like that. So, because everyone, cure. What's the first word comes out when you say the word cure? Speed. So nobody talked about him having that touch. So
we'll see. We'll see when the lights turn on.
So I apologize. Who just joined the chat? What's your name?
Oh, my name's Trey.
Trey, good to meet you, man. Trey, let us know what your thoughts are. You heard we're freestyling tonight, so what's on your mind?
Well, my thoughts on the game.
Anything you'd like.
Well, I just want to talk about the game. Like, for example, like Alfred Payton. I feel like, people are down on Alfred, but like he's a serviceable point guard. Like, he brings a lot of the intangibles. He can set players up. I just feel like him and Randall just need to play different times of the game. Like, they should not share the floor together, because it messes up the spacing. Like today when I was watching the game, it was a couple times where RJ was running the fast break and Randall would just run in the paint and just impede his way. It's because RJ thrives on fast break and with spacing. And Alfred, he can't shoot. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like we going in the right direction. I like Tibbs a lot. I feel like he knows what he's doing. We just got to be patient. You know what I'm saying? I know after every game, like Knox. I love Knox, right? But he just gotta be consistent, man. Like it's too many times where like he got all the tools. Like you could just tell, look at him, he got the body. You know what I'm saying? You could tell at his jump shot, the mechanics is there. You know what I'm saying? It just is up here. He can't, it's just like, I don't know. But yeah, tonight, I feel like we started off slow. And then when the second unit, because it's crazy, the first game, the second unit brought us back in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And tonight, they just look out of sync. Like DSJ played bad. I feel like there's a reason why Tibbs trusts him. And there's a reason why Frank didn't get as much minutes as people would have wanted him to. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like DSJ got some untapped potential, and we're going to see it coming in the season. I'm going to pass it on to somebody else.
Well, I don't know if it's trust at this point. I think it's risk management that it don't count now. So let's give him an opportunity and see what we have with him before it does count. What do you think, Rob?
I think the same thing. I think he giving him a chance, and he want to see what he can do. And as far as what it's looking like, DSJ is dropping the ball. And soon I think probably the next 2 games, I think he's gonna probably switch the minutes and give Frank his chance and see what he do. Because it looked like at the end, Frank may win the job, even if he give him the whole preseason. It seems like during the course of the season, at some point, DSJ is going to drop the ball and Frank is going to be there.
Because at least with Frank, he got consistent defense.
And and
he's an elite defender, no doubt.
But Frank is
and I think that defense that Frank's got versus what he doesn't have, I think that's going to give him the edge. But DSJ needs his shot. After 2 games, I just be kidding when I say fly him out of here, because this is the year that they really need their shot.
Yeah.
I see exactly what he got, but it just seems as though DSJ is getting in the habit of picking up his ball too much.
Oh, thank you. Mm-hmm. How many times in the last 2 games that you're just sitting there?
Sorry.
Go Trey. I'm sorry.
I feel like DSJ was like, he wasn't letting the game come to him tonight. He was looking more to facilitate, and I feel like that's not really his strength. He should just try to just get into the paint. Because how many times did DSJ drive into the paint tonight?
I didn't see much of that. I couldn't even count them on one hand.
Thank you.
Just trying to run the plays. I think he was trying to run the sets like what Tibbs wanted instead of just playing his game. I feel like
but he wasn't anticipating the traps at all. By the time he realized it was all over.
And there's a big difference from the first game because I think tonight he was thinking too much. That first game he was just reacting, and it actually I think fed to his defense because his defense in that first game was.
They trapped every pick and roll tonight. Yeah. That was the difference.
And
D. Grant in the chat said all that DSJ has is athleticism. That's all. That's the only tricks that he has.
Yeah, because he don't shoot and he don't pass. And I'm gonna tell you, I tell you this: we talking about Frank getting that shot. I wouldn't be surprised because we know his defense is next level on the team. And the thing is, and I had a feeling this was gonna happen when we got Tibbs. I've seen Frank this year do more picking in 2 games, picking up players full court than I think the whole time I saw under Fizz. And not only that, the guy jump shot looked real good. And like I say, he shot 5 3-pointers so far this year and made 3, or shot 4 or something and made 3, something like that.
He's made 2.
Made 2.
Literally shot 3 threes and made 2 of them.
Yeah, but
let's not annoy him the next Steph Curry.
Hey, you gonna make him Steph Curry,
cool, man.
But don't get me started on your boy now. I done told you he didn't knock out.
He deserves it tonight.
With them threes, he done shot. He got Dolan cussing.
He deserves it. You know, James Dolan's
At
playing a
least you
guitar
didn't do.
somewhere in
At
someone's
least you ain't
bar.
do what Chuck did and didn't show up because Chuck didn't show up because of DSJ.
Hey, listen,
Yeah,
Rob.
You right.
Rob, listen. I was really close to not pressing that link tonight. Now, so they gonna get on me, but I'm gonna face it. I'm gonna face it like a man. I'm gonna be here for my boy,
Oh,
because you
Chuck
got to
don't
be
play that.
there for him. You got to be there for him when they're down, just as well as you're gonna be there when they're up.
Yeah,
respect
you
that.
got to. That's a true fan.
I respect that, Kevin.
Chuck do roll call
I
when
respect
he
that
ain't
you
here.
showed up today with Mr. Knox having the performance he did today.
Yeah, but just know
Man.
when he does have that good game.
Hey, I'm gonna be right along with you, because
Hey,
at
look,
the end of the
Kevin.
day, that's all that
It
matters,
just
right?
seems- It seems to me that Knox is just rushing. The game need to slow down. He got to let the game slow down a little bit. He's rushing everything.
And you know what
As
it
soon
may
as he
be.
get the ball, he 4 feet behind the 3 line. Just because there's nobody there, he's shooting it. He
But
needs
you
to
know that.
slow down.
You know what it may be, Rob. Think
Yo,
about it. Think about this. You know how when a player don't get the ball often, and they want to have and shoot because they think they ain't gonna touch it again. I.e., when somebody's on the floor playing with them, we know who
well,
that
but
somebody
yeah,
is. But he
yeah,
was out of the game by then. But I think Kev be thinking he ain't gonna touch the ball much.
but see, but
Yeah.
then that'll do good for him because then at the end of the game, he could just say, "I ain't passed the ball." Not that I shot 2 hair balls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's fine to make the. It's fine to make the most of the opportunities you get, but you got to still play in the rhythm of the
yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of them
But the
coaches
thing
just
is,
need to tell him,
what
say, "Hey, keep shooting, Kev. Keep shooting. We
what
behind you. It's gonna fall. Just keep shooting. Keep shooting. That's what shooters do. Keep shooting."
the
Do
question
Kev
is,
have a crossover?
No,
I
No.
haven't
Kev
seen
crossed himself
him
over.
ever cross anybody up. He has a step to him.
He's a one-way. He's a one-way sign. I tell you, he get the ball, he one way.
He need a
One
post
way
up
into
game.
a charge.
He
I
need a
would have
post up
liked
game. You see
for
how
him to do what he did the
working out
first
post up.
game and call for it in the post, like he did the first game, some just to get some easier looks and some easier baskets. Because
I
he did
think
that like 2 or 3 times in the first game.
I think today was the first day I actually seen him put the ball through his legs. I said, a change of direction? What? I said, man. And him just firing away. He just looked like he get the ball like like at
I
a
mean,
bottom rim with a Marlon Wayne. He just threw that from 40.
there was no cohesion at all, and this including Knox and everyone else. There was no
Facts.
cohesion to the second unit, and the 2 players that was affected the most was Obi and Kevin,
Total.
because they need cohesion. They need a person like, okay, go to this spot, you do this, come here. They need to be set up.
They were on an island
That's
by
why I
themselves.
say Peyton should run with that second unit.
Yeah.
What were you
Because
saying,
he would
D-Well?
get lobs to Mitch. He would set up OB right. You know what I'm saying? I feel like DSJ and Frank should start. But then again, when Austin Rivers come back, both of them might be sitting on the bench. So
Yep.
we just gotta see. Honestly,
Rivers
I
and
think
Brooks-
Austin Rivers gonna take a stranglehold on that point guard position. I think
hope
that's gonna
so.
happen because right now ain't nobody look like they want it, and that's a shame. All these guys we talking about is in the last year of their contract and don't look like they want it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But they can't even get it.
We'll give him more than 2 games before we
Yeah.
crucify him.
Like I say, the plane is on the tarmac. When that
They gonna
20
have
game
time.
hit, we gonna find out who's gonna be flying out of here.
They just haven't passed out the tickets yet to see your destination.
Yeah.
Leon is working. You can believe that. He ain't asleep at the wheel like Phil.
Yeah.
Literally.
I think Freezy's right though that the transition started with Frank, that he's going to be more in a Bruce Bowen type of role than he'll be a point guard, and I think
And I won't have no problem with that.
no, me either. I think it's more natural for him because, as we said, that Peyton, with all the things that aggravate him, he blinks and he has 7, 8 assists at the end of the game. And no matter what Frank does, he ends up with 3 assists a game. It's just, I don't think it's his natural thing to be making other players better from that thing. his elite talent, his defense, and that Bruce Bowen role. I think Freezy's dead on that.
And I think his shot is going to really come because the kid shot 80-something% from the free throw line, and you can see it because that jump shot look a whole lot better this year. And even last year, that mid range he had, it's solid. It's very solid. So
you know what I wouldn't mind seeing though? Frank and Quickly together in the backcourt.
Boy, that'd be a nightmare.
Yeah, I like that.
Teams. Did we see that tonight?
Yeah, the end of the game. They were in the game together.
Yeah,
the end of the game.
Yeah.
But I feel like Quickly should be more off the ball, so like he could get those catch and shoot threes.
Yes,
he couldn't get those threes up tonight. So
he was handling it.
I feel like Tibbs is going to adjust.
Well, my thing is, if you want Quickly to play off the ball, then he doesn't need to be on the court with Frank, because Frank's not the kind of point guard that's going to set you up for that kind of shot.
That's
true. He needs to be on the court with Peyton.
Yeah. And on the scouting point with Quickly, one of his negatives or areas for his development is the guy really don't have much handles, or at least he wasn't known for his handles and getting his own shots. So he needs somebody like Kevin just said that can do things and set him up to allow him to be that elite sniper that he is.
You know who would have been a better point guard for us right now on the team?
Anyone?
The kid that we got from Boston, and he was in the G League.
Kadeem Allen?
What's his name?
Kadeem Allen.
Kadeem Allen would have been a better point guard right now than any of these point guards we got.
Ron, did I tell you lately that I love you? Because I said it like a year or so ago. You know what? Kadeem Allen runs this team better than these guys.
And he can shoot.
Yeah.
And he plays defense.
A dog, yeah. So, he never got a shot, and I don't know if it was fizz or whatever, but I was like, they brought this guy up, and he's running the team better than the guys that are supposed to be the guys.
And that's like that kid we just sent down that we got from Phoenix. That was on that team.
Jared Harper.
That kid, he looks solid.
Oh,
he looks better than these ones we got. And he's fast and can shoot.
Yeah, because I said yeah, he's 5'10". But he happens to have a really large wingspan, but he's still like
he wants it though. He's fiery.
Absolutely. Well, he's like a typical Auburn player, man. He's got that dog in him, and but like I said, an explosive first step, and I thought maybe they'd give him a shot because of spacing and everything. And like you said, he can shoot. So
he's scrappy.
I don't think we would have added Miles Powell if he's actually that good, though.
Yeah, well, like that's why statistically, I think there's only 7 guys in the league or 5 guys in the league that size. You just don't. It's a hard league to be that size, man. That's why Terrell Terry, with all his elite shooters, like, why did he fall? Why did he fall? He's tiny, man. He'll give up as many points as that great jumper will make.
Mm-hmm.
So who do y'all guys think gonna get traded?
Off our team?
I think the only coin we got is Mitch.
Okay. You're saying traded off the team?
Yeah, who's going to be traded off the team, packaged for something else?
I think Randall's going to be traded.
It's Randall is at the forefront of that just based alone off the salary.
He don't make no money.
What I mean is nobody else makes any money. So if you're going to bring in somebody, let's say you're going to bring in somebody who makes $30 million.
Oh yeah,
you have to start with the Julius Randle.
Randall's
and package other people else in it.
I just think Randall will, just like Marcus Morris last year, some team's going to overpay the Knicks. Assuming Randall does his 20 and 10, 4 assists, 5 turnovers. If a team is going to convince themselves that if he's the 5th or 6th best player on their team, he'll help them, and we'll be able to get some picks.
I think he'd be a 4th best player on the team. Yeah. He can be a 3 or a 4.
I said Julius Randle will go to a team that's in the playoff hunt, and
he'll help him because he won't have all the pressure of being the man.
Yeah.
That's the problem with being in New York. Let's be real. I mean, I said Obi, I think gonna be the better of the two, but I think right now Randall is statistically the best player, and that's crazy to even have to say.
Would you trade Randall right now for just one first-round pick?
Right now?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
I need a
Not
running
right
back.
now.
I
I
would
want to see. I want
need
to
a
see how
player.
things gonna look after
I need
the
some
game.
kind of player
You guys
that's
like
going to help this
Attack.
team set up. Like
I wanna
Okay,
see
only,
let's say
Trade
the
him for
Knicks are,
Conley.
let's say the Knicks are 20 games under 500 at the trade deadline. Would you trade Randall for a first-round pick?
Absolutely, I'll drive him to the airport myself
at that
Okay.
point,
for free.
I would see why not. I mean, we're not going to lose anything at
I
that
take
point.
him in DSJ.
Hey, we got another great point from that would help us. Anudi from the chat said that we need to bring back Nate Robinson once he wakes up.
I'm going to leave it alone.
You're gonna be waiting a long time, my man.
Oh, hey, shout out to the chat, the greatest mods in the world, Bodega and Sima. Please hit that like, subscribe, and reminder buttons. We're 66 people. We have 113 in the chat. Please, let's get up to that 100 milestone. Also, we're at 772 subscribers. Please, man, bring that up. An amazing job by Freezy, man. An amazing job to go from count on a few hands in 30 some odd days up to this level. So, man, this is very, very impressive. So, please, let's get those subscribers up. And again, everyone, thank you so much for all your support. It's greatly appreciated.
You know, I did have a question. Do y'all think, some players practice well, but it don't translate to games?
Yep.
And then you got the opposite of that coin. You got them guys that practice, you know what I mean, and practice terrible or whatnot. But do you think Knox is one of them players that practice great, but when it gets game time, he disappears?
Yeah, he's an empty gym superstar.
And that's why he got drafted over Miles.
Tip said he had a very good training camp, and so far, like we yet to see what made it so good.
Someone wrote in the chat that they think Knox would be better on a smaller market team where there's less on him.
Think so.
Less odds, less pressure.
There's no pressure on. He's off the bench.
And there ain't no pressure this year because there ain't no fans in the stands.
No fans in the seats.
I mean, the fans are on him, man. I mean, our fans are pretty hard. Have been pretty hard on us.
I heard an analogy. I don't know if it was Freeze or someone, but that Knox is like a Bambi that you see comes out and it's all awkward, but eventually they come up to be that fluid deer that runs. I ain't seen that fluid deer. It's 3 years later and he still looks awkward, man.
He's Austin Day. He's Wesley Johnson.
You can make the same argument for him that people make about Frank. Some people say, well, Frank don't look like he's progressing at all. Both of them guys in the same boat.
Here's my thing with Knox. Just really quick, because I was thinking about this while watching him tonight, and I know Kevin may be upset with me, but I'll say it anyway. If he's not scoring and making buckets for us, I just don't think he does enough to help us win in any other area.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, I'm gonna give it, like you said, 20 games. Man.
Don't run him out of town yet.
I'm just saying, if he's not scoring in bunches for us on that second unit, is it really worth? I'm gonna give him the chance, but I just don't see what else he does. Maybe I'm not watching the game. I don't know.
Yeah, because he really don't rebound.
I think he are. I think he
Oh,
are.
yeah. You're on to something.
Yeah. Again, shout out to the chat. Andre Bryant, Joe Curry, otherwise known as OG Kush, Chen, Manchild. Thank you so much for all your support, Manchild. It's greatly appreciated, man.
And Chen, I gotta agree with you. Frank has improved a little bit. With that jump shot, like I said earlier. But Knox, I don't see where not. Hey, they're still going in. That's all that matters.
2 for 3.
Knox, how many threes have Knox made this year? How many threes Knox made?
0.
0 for 5. I think.
0 for 5.
0 for 5. So you better leave Frank alone. Hey, Knox gotta hit 2 before you can talk about Frank.
Who do you want taking the game-winning shot? Knox, Dennis Smith Jr., or Frank?
Knox.
I'd rather take Frank.
Is that
Nah.
I'm more confident with Frank shooting than them other two.
I'll take
Because he hit 2 threes?
No,
'Cause he hit 2.
you know what?
Out of
You know what it
3.
is? It ain't just because of that. When he missed, it don't look bad. Like Knox and Dennis Smith.
When RJ missed, it looked bad, but nobody say nothing about RJ when he missed.
You know
RJ
why?
was chucking up air balls the other day too.
That's not true, Kevin. I criticized
RJ, you know he gonna bounce back.
No, but I'm saying when RJ missed, it's gonna look bad.
Hey, good point, Trey. He gonna bounce back. Hey, man, don't do that. Don't do that.
When RJ airball,
RJ has the luxury of shooting 15 times a game.
You know the difference between
be able to bounce back.
You know the difference between Knox and RJ?
Toughness.
When RJ airballs,
mentality.
He has 14 more shots to make it up for it.
It'll wake him up and he'll start playing better. If Knox airballs it, he's airballed for the rest of the night. He ain't hitting nothing, and we know that. That's even all these years he's been there. When he airballs a shot, his game, you know he ain't got it tonight.
I even look at it tonight, like just the simple fact that RJ came back, he hit a 3 after he airballed like 2 of them last game. His mid-range game is money. Like people sleeping on his mid-range game. I feel like he just got to work his way out. Like my man said earlier, like just keep on shooting them mid-ranges. And then
eat down there first.
Fall. Trust. And then his free throw tonight. That's why I'm not worried about RJ in the least. Like,
dude,
I hate going on Twitter and seeing people dogging him out because it's like, yo, he's actually showing that he's putting in that work.
Yeah, all RJ got to do is just eat dinner first before he worry about getting dessert. That dessert is that 3-point line. Just keep eating your dinner.
My whole thing is like this. It comes with the opportunity. RJ Barrett has the opportunity, and he just has the green light. Now RJ has the green light. Let's not pretend like he doesn't.
He earned it.
But
Knox has the green light. Knox doesn't have the green light.
He just ain't making them.
I don't think Knox has the green light, because if Knox had the green light, how many minutes did Knox play tonight?
Knox played, hold on, I got it over here. Knox played 12 minutes.
12 minutes. Is that coincidence? Or
Kevin, I felt like every shot
out of how many? 7 shots. So he wasn't hitting nothing. So the coach just said, "All right, sit down. You're not doing nothing." Now, when RJ Barrett started the game yesterday, 0 for 6. How many more shots was RJ allowed to take?
This is all you need.
Was he put on the bench for the rest of the game?
Because what he did in the paint, negated what he wasn't doing from the outside.
Exactly.
No, what I'm saying is this. See, y'all are glossing over the fact. Kevin Knox came out 1 for 7, didn't get back in the game.
Because he didn't affect the game in no other way.
He doesn't affect the game in other ways.
Yeah.
Thanks,
But my thing is this. He was playing defense, was he not? It's not like his man was beating him or anything.
Keep scrubs on your team.
I don't think he was playing defense.
Was his man burning him or something?
Yeah, like them scrubs, man. Why you like them scrubs?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What were you saying, bro?
He left Josh Jackson open at the 3 the whole night.
Yeah, and he went to go get his car. He went to go get his car. He was doing valet service for him.
Josh Jackson was eating a sandwich while he was wide open for 3.
How many points did Josh Jackson have tonight?
He had.
He went off. I think he hit about 3 threes.
He had 9 points.
Kevin Knox
9 points.
19 points. Yeah.
Huh?
3 for 5 from 3s.
Ladies and gentlemen,
3 threes.
Our man Freezy. What a good sight.
Man.
Hey, Freezy.
Sir.
Hey, Freezy.
Good.
They said that you can't be doing the show for work release. They say you can't be doing the show for work release.
Man, I'm trading time for Roger Woods and Newports.
How you doing, Freeze?
Yo, Hey, so one of my coworkers said Kevin Knox looks like a 6'9" Cle Anthony Early.
Yo, somebody in the chat said that too.
That's hilarious.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness. Yeah, man. Oh my gosh, man. What are we gonna do with Kevin Knox?
Wait and
We're
be patient.
gonna win 20 games, and the plane is on the tarmac right
Here's
now.
my thing. This is the thing. Once Knox does start hitting shots, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want all these people on Knox bandwagon. And I'm
gonna tell you I was wrong.
Y'all give me that card.
I was wrong.
Nobody else is on this Knox bandwagon. When he busts out like with 5 threes in the game,
Kev,
I'm
you
like,
know we
oh,
all
there's
be
Kevin
happy.
Knox.
Hey, Kev, we all wear the same jersey, man. But we gotta call a spade a spade.
Hey.
When you ain't playing good, you ain't playing good right now.
Man,
You ain't
y'all
playing
calling
good.
a spade a heart right
right.
now. Sometimes y'all, I don't know
Hey,
what's going on.
Hey, Kev, I'm gonna tell you this about Kevin Knox bandwagon though. Kevin Knox bandwagon clearly is pulled by horses because it does not have a motor. Kevin Knox bandwagon is pulled by horses because it does not have a motor, dog.
That's a good one. Hey, you heard they're attending to James Dolan right now for that concussion he got. He made it back to Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, you almost hit a 747.
I hope Kevin.
Hey, Fuse, I got a favor to ask.
Like he got a pulled groin because he playing bad.
You know what? I'm guaranteeing right now at 2:16 on December 14th against Cleveland, Kevin Knox is gonna have more than 10 points.
Whoa.
More than 10. I'm going way over 10. I'll say between 10 and 15.
You got a better chance of Frank getting 10 than Knox.
Amazing.
I'm telling you, between 10 and 15 against Cleveland.
Kevin, if that
I'm
happens,
guaranteeing it. Write it down. Because we can go back and pull up this video. We can go back on Wednesday and pull this video and be like, Kev, what happened? Or I can pull this video and see, I told y'all what's gonna happen.
If Kevin get 10, you know how they do.
Maybe it's just once he gets back in the garden, get back home, even though there's still no fans, but still.
I'm with you, Kevin. It ain't hard to score 10 points. Like
if Kevin Knox do that, you know how they do in the stadiums when teams miss 2 shots in a row, everybody get Chick-fil-A.
Kevin Knox would be a great player for that.
Yeah. Hey, fellas, 1 second. I got a favor to ask.
5 points tonight. You get a free towel.
You would give us free Chick-fil-A many nights, man.
Yeah. Hey, fellas, 1 second. I have a favor to ask for you. I don't know how your voice is, but we're at 75 likes. We want to hit that 100 mark, and you're the man with the magic touch. Could you do a shout out for some of our peeps in the chat?
Yeah, I've been wanting to shout out all night for Hey, so first let me ask, Sean Collins, are you new? Hey, for all the new people, put a thumbs up in the virtual chat. That way we can recognize y'all, man, and welcome y'all to the Knicks at Night family, man. Hey, if you new, and listen, I ain't calling y'all out, you know what I'm saying, to embarrass you. I'm calling, just saying, I want y'all to raise your hand so we can welcome all the people that are new. Because we want y'all to feel like this is a safe place to talk Knicks. You know what I'm saying? We don't judge, we don't do any of that stuff. The only thing we try to do is talk Knicks and cut up. And sometimes cutting up, acting a fool come before the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? It depends on if Ron Cleveland be getting on me about Frank. Yeah, but if you knew, and then for the virtual chat, if you see somebody new, man, welcome them to the Knicks at Night podcast family, man. You know what I'm saying? That do good for everybody. Because we want people to, even though it's 2:00 or 2:20 in the morning, we want people to feel like this is a place where they can come and you know what I'm saying, be in a safe place where they can feel like they can vent about their Knicks and they can talk to the celebrities like Rob the Knick and Kevin when he not daydreaming about Knox. You know what I'm saying?
I tell you what, y'all don't even gotta do much for me to feel
yo,
comfortable. Like, this is a family setting. Like, you feel me? I feel like I'm just talking to my unks about basketball, like about the Knicks. So
yeah, we just sitting in the barbershop.
Cool platform,
so Freezy, this is what really happened. I promise you. I was listening to Ron's podcast the other day.
Yeah,
So
shout
I had
out.
mentioned something. I had mentioned something in the chat, and then people in the chat was like, "Yo, Kev, get in, get in." And I was like, "When did I blow up like this?" I was surprised. I'm like, "What's
you're
happening? Why are
famous,
people
man.
calling me out like this?"
Hey
You're
Kev, man, you
famous,
got
man. Everybody knows
great
you.
takes, man. You got great takes, and you can
Yeah,
tell.
hey,
Hey,
hey, D Public Enemy is in the building. D Public Enemy was good. D Public Enemy is a day one like us. Hey, D Public Enemy, what took you so long? Yo, D Public Enemy is in the building. I can't believe it. What's good, fam?
Is that the real Public Enemy? Is what I'm asking.
Hey.
That ain't somebody trying to use you. Is that
trying to steal his identity?
Yeah, is that Chuck?
Hey, no,
it takes millions of millions to hold us back.
Hey,
I don't think that. I don't think that's him. I don't think
Knicks
that's
fan.
him. I think that's the one that was on in the Nothing But Knicks chat and the Knicks fan TV chat back
Knicks
years
fan.
ago.
I got to run,
Yeah.
but it's always a pleasure, my people.
Hey,
why you always run when I get here? Why you always run when I get here? You must have a job or something. You must be responsible.
I'm trying to be, man, but it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm behind you there, Spreewell, man. Because y'all boys hurt me so bad last night. You know, normally when you stay up late, you know, and you're tired, you hit that shower, it wake you up, right?
Yeah.
Man, I got in the shower, and all I can say when I got out that shower was, man. It ain't working.
I may be doing that, but
it caught up with me. But yeah, man. Hey, Freezy.
Happy Hanukkah, by the way, to you and your family.
Congratulations, man. Keep doing what you're doing, because it's obviously working. You heard me. And eat that gumbo. Matter of fact, we're gonna have Kevin Knox serving dinner, because he ain't doing nothing else.
I'm telling you,
he ain't doing nothing else.
Listen, he's gonna have at least 3 threes against Cleveland this game. At least 3, a minimum of 3.
Kevin wouldn't get 3 threes in the rec league. He'd be shooting air balls in the rec league.
Back in the guard, I promise you, Kevin is going to put up between 12 and 15.
Not if Isaac Okoro
12 and 7. He might go. I don't even know who's on Cleveland right now. Let me look up Cleveland.
Did you just hear what Trey said? The man knows his dude. Carl starting him.
Yeah. Y'all have a good one, man.
All right, man.
Hey, Freezy, you got Ohio Hurricanes new.
Hey, hey, Andre Bryant said Frank is a 6'4" Kevin Knox.
I'm weak.
Oh my god!
I'm glad that everyone is blaming this loss.
Thank you, Mind Motivation.
Man, I can't wait till Kevin Knox can hook me up with some Jordans at Foot Locker.
Oh my god! Talking about his full-time job.
Yeah, he's gonna sell sneakers.
Oh my gosh! Hey, Kev, and listen, the Knox thing is not a means of us trying to just troll you. It ain't that. It's that sometimes we put so much faith, like we put so much into Kevin Knox that we saw another one of our rookies struggle, and we didn't even touch on it because of the way we feel about Knox. Like for instance, Obi struggled tonight, big time, right? And so instead of deep diving into Obi about, Obi not having a point guard and not being able to, get shots in a position to be successful, we're talking about Kevin Knox. I mean,
a lot of people want to use Kevin Knox as a scapegoat to all their woes and problems. And that's just being real. Like literally people have blamed this loss on Kevin Knox. Like Kevin Knox is the reason we lost this game. People have said that in the chat. They are blaming him above everyone else. And it's like, how can a guy who played 12 minutes be responsible for us losing this game? And that's the kind of vitriol that people get.
Is that Coach Cheese Carter in the chat? Coach Cheese Carter is in the Yo, Dan, what's good? Joe Curry, I see you. Man, look at this, man. Yo, man, I see all the homies in the chat, man. Look, hey, y'all. Hey, I miss y'all, man. Hey, man, for real, man. I miss y'all, man. Y'all need to stop playing and stop messing around, man. Throw away them flip phones and get a laptop so y'all can come on the panel with us. Coach E. Carter, good. You should be up here with us.
That's what this community is all about.
Yeah. D Public Enemy, you need to be up here with us. Where you at, fam? Yeah. Yo, so Cheek Job is like, yo, am I blocked? Hey, that's to me, that's hilarious. I ain't trolling, right? But you know what I'm saying? I do have like a sense of humor or whatever, man. But you know, Cheek Job was like, yo, am I blocked or am I not blocked? You ain't blocked. Why you, man? Stop playing. And you were supposed to be up here a month ago. Yo, Sheik Job, you supposed to be up. You were supposed to be up here a month ago. Why you playing? Quiet Money, what's good? Mitchell Prince, what's good? Yo, I see somebody named say Art. Art
That's
something,
me.
something.
That's me.
Man, I know. Come on, dog. I know who you are, man. I'm just joking. I'm messing around with you. I'm just joking around with you, man. What's good? How'd you like the game?
Who, me?
Yes.
It was the bench failed us.
Second unit, yeah.
But I liked what I saw from RJ and Alec Burks.
Hey, so I saw some of the things that Steven touched on, man. Y'all touched on a lot of stuff, man. Y'all have really been moving along. I just wanted to jump in and just say a couple of things before we close out, before I get out of here. So for one, Mitchell Robinson has not progressed. He's only gotten bigger, and you can see it. The ticky-tack fouls with Mitch, I mean, it's frustrating now to me and probably to some others too.
Why do you think I wanted Okongwu?
On both sides of the ball, offensive fouls too that you shake your head on, bad screens he sets.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And then you know, it's a deal where if that lob is not going, did y'all see how Detroit tried to defend the lob again tonight? Did y'all notice that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if that lob is not there, man.
Remember when you used to be like, "Oh, yo, why would you stop doing that if it's unstoppable?"
Right.
Obviously, stoppable.
It's stoppable now. That's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, man. My man is he's definitely got to, you know, come through with some moves.
Yep.
Hey, Freeze T-Shon in the chat asked the question that we all want to know: when do you get sleep, man?
I'll probably get some sleep between 7 and 8. I'll probably sleep from like 7:15 to 7:45, and then I'll throw some water on my face and do the next morning drive for 3 hours, and then probably from 8 to, so that'll be about 8 to 11, and then I'll probably sleep for like an hour, and then do the thing with God of Moses and Elijah. That'll probably be about an hour or two. And then I'm gonna work on the Knicks Unbiased podcast. Yeah. Let me shout that out real quick. So me, Art, and Chuck B are gonna do a Knicks Unbiased podcast, right? And so it's not necessarily, it's not for homers, right? If you got heartstrings and all that stuff, or if you like to be unreasonably optimistic about an event, Knicks Unbiased won't be for you. But if you just want to hear, the cold hard facts about stuff, if you want to hear just the bottom line about stuff, it'll be perfect for you. And so me, Art, and Chuck B are gonna probably start it maybe in about 2 weeks. So what we're working on is the parameters for it this week and maybe early next week. We're gonna do a test run, and then we're gonna do a pilot. And then so the first one you guys are here is the pilot. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna be social media heavy. We're going to be fan interactive. So we're going to have a lot of new things. It's going to be something different from the normal podcast you hear about the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to like, it's not just like bring your homies on and y'all just, chop it up for an hour. It's legit fan interactive. We have some things. It's going to be super, super dope, super dope. But so look for that. Maybe after Christmas is probably when we'll debut it. But also with that said, I'm gonna work on that, and then I'll probably sleep from like maybe 6 to 8 or 6 to 7, and then get up and then try to jump on with Legion of Knicks podcast and do the preview and stuff for this show, like the thumbnails and all that stuff. And then at 10 o'clock, man, I'm gonna go back to work.
Please be careful, man. On a serious note, you that's a bad grind. Eventually, you're going to pay the piper for that type of grind.
Hey, man. Hey. So the thing
You
is,
only drink so many 5-hour energies.
yeah, man. They stop working after you drink them back to back.
I thought if you drink 2 of them, you get 10 hours.
Yeah, yeah. No, but the thing is, it's not about just the motivation, just this grind, man. It's about how much fun I have doing this stuff with y'all. Like I legit have fun doing this stuff with y'all. Like, getting on, like I'm listening to it at work. People are like, what you listening to? And you know what I'm saying? And I'll show them, and they see Kev talking about Kevin Knox or Ron talking about how Frank is always getting the raw deal. And they like, yo, you know them people? I'm like, yeah, those the homies. Yo, we do this every night. We legit come together every night or every morning and do this thing. Just have fun talking about the Knicks or whatever. So y'all are like, yeah, man, get some sleep. But hey, Kev, listen. I'm sorry, not Kev, but Steve, listen, man. I saw some of the stuff, like me and Steve talked about some stuff earlier in the day. And so it got me so excited. I'm like, yo, I need about 4 more hours in the day so that we can get some of this stuff done.
Well, I'm there, man. I'm an old dude, so I got nothing else but having this passion to build Knicks at Night to the best it can be.
Yo, Muhammad Thomas, are you new? Muhammad Thomas, if you knew,
You about
man,
to say Mutombo?
Who?
Shabazz Muhammad.
It sounded like you was about to say Mutombo.
No, Muhammad Thomas.
No, the way how you said, you sound like you was about to say Mutombo.
I'm from New Jersey. I have a weird accent.
Dirty Jersey.
You from Jersey? I'm from Jersey.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So I just have a weird. But the thing is, so we got. Okay, so Muhammad Thomas says, "Hey, y'all welcome Muhammad Thomas in the chat. Make sure y'all do that for real, man.
Thank you for joining us.
Some love, man. So, hey, Muhammad Thomas, I can't shout you out yet. I can't say, look who's in the building yet. I got to see you like 3 or 4 more times, and then once I see you like 3 or 4 more times, and then so where you from in Jersey? You from Jersey City? Joe Curry like Jersey. So I want to get out the way and let Steve get back to it, man. I just wanted to jump on with y'all. I ain't mean to jump in and trample over everybody. But I did want to come in, man, and show some love and get some love in return. Yeah, I be wanting to show love, but the love that y'all be showing me just be keeping me going, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just can't look, I be looking forward to get on, man, and see all of y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, you from Newark? Okay. Hey, Steve. So what we are chopping it up about before I jumped in and messed everything up?
We were just freestyling tonight because there was only so much you could talk about the game tonight without wanting jumping off the roof. So we were just going across all different topics. We were working with listening to the chat, getting their feedback, and just throwing different topics up there. And
I want to make a point of something from a little bit earlier about having salary cap space and being flexible for free agents. So I was looking at the free agents for next year and the year after, like the top free agents.
Yeah.
Next year, other than Giannis, right?
Falls off.
Once you get past, I mean, maybe Victor Oladipo. I don't see Kawhi leaving. I
No.
don't see Blake Griffin opting out of $34 million at this point.
Nope.
I don't see Chris Paul opting out of $39 million.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Lowry is 35.
Mike Conley is.
Mike Conley will be 33.
Yep.
Depending on how Milwaukee does, Drew Holiday will probably resign. I mean, you have Rudy Gobert.
No thanks.
And that's really it when you're talking about, like, you know, the top tier. But 2022 is like, ugh, it's even worse because the top. I mean,
everyone's maxed out.
Even
Got to
if
trade for Lonzo.
Even if you look at that, the top free agents, and none of them are probably opting out. The only one, well, Steph Curry will be a free agent technically, but
he's not
he'll be
leaving.
almost 35, pushing, going, you know, so who's going to want that? And everybody else is, let's see, 33, 32, 33, 34, 34, 37.
Yeah, they're on the other side of their prime, man.
So it's like when people say, "Oh, we just gonna save this money to bring in free agents," like, well, who's gonna be these free agents that are gonna fit in the timeline that we want, that we're trying to set up, and are actually going to leave? Because once you're like 36 and you're making $38 million, are you gonna opt out of that? You're not getting another contract.
Mm-mm. Well, I was kind of surprised that Hayward opted out, and he still got 30 mil. So,
well, Hayward is he's 30, but he's not going to be like, you know, CP3 at 36 opting out.
Yeah.
Hey, Art, when you heard that contract, did you just shake your head or what?
I said thank you, Michael Jordan, for actually helping the Knicks for once.
It really came out of nowhere. Like the whole Charlotte thing with Gordon Hayward came out of nowhere. Like nobody even, like, it literally was like a last minute kind of thing. And then you saw that contract. It was like, what? Whoa, wait a minute.
Well, it was like Pacers or Knicks, and then
you see Wojbomb, Gordon Hayward signs with the Hornets. It's like, where did it come from?
Yeah, because he went to Butler and he lives in Indiana, so I thought that was the possible place for him to go. But wow, man, 4-year, $120 million. What are we missing? What are you saying that? And also from his injury history.
And then I saw the game that he played the other night. Granted, it's preseason, but I'm gonna say something about Knox. I couldn't tell the difference in Gordon Hayward and Kevin Knox that night.
I was just thinking that though.
I was like, what is Gordon Hayward doing other than nothing? And he's wearing number 20. So that's what made it even funnier.
What y'all think about LaMelo though? What y'all think about LaMelo?
LaMelo didn't impress me at all, really.
He didn't score.
He had a couple passes that looked nice.
He had some really nice passes.
Like his court vision is next level. Like it translates to the game automatically. Like, but yeah, he gotta learn how to score. But I feel like
he has to learn how to shoot. Have you ever seen a worse mechanics in your life as for shooting?
Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
You're so cool, man.
I mean, that right there is just top.
Michael Jordan loves kind of players.
I mean, I don't know who is worth him or Cartwright.
Bill Cartwright.
I don't know.
LaMelo since he was 12, and
Sean Marion.
Even though his jumper is ugly, he still find a way to put that ball in the hoop. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just whether it translates to the NBA game or not.
Yeah. Hey, I thought the people saying that LaMelo is Jason Williams. Great, but I think Jason Williams is a better shooter.
I can see it. Or Jason Kidd, but
not Jason Kidd, Jason Williams.
Hey, let me ask y'all this. Did y'all notice tonight every time Emmanuel quickly touched the ball that Julius Randle or another vet went to him to go grab the ball in the offensive set? Or is that me bugging out?
I think you're bugging out.
Man, I watched it when I saw it the first couple of times. When I saw it the first couple of times, I thought it was a play design. But then after a while, like when the Knicks would get late in the shot clock, I would see they wouldn't let this dude create.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Or set up a shot that he can't, set a screen or something so he can do a curl or something and come around and shoot that three.
Yeah.
Right. Especially when him and Obi when you would see Obi run past him, not set a screen, but run past him to Obi's spot on the wing to shoot a three off the wing. Somebody would go get the ball from him and not let him set up. I don't know if that was a case of Thibodeau not giving him the green light yet, or if it's a case that they don't trust him, or if the cats on the team are just feeling like late in the shot clock they don't trust him. They would rather sauce it up and see what they can do.
I think it's more so because it was like crunch time. It was like the last couple minutes of the game. So Julius Randle, when he was in there, was trying to make plays. But honestly, this is a controversial take. I feel like Quickly's already better than Frank, and he'd even shoot a jump shot yet.
Better at Frank at what?
I'm just saying, just the way how he plays, you could just tell like he brings that energy. Just watching him on defense, I could feel like he brings the same type of defensive intensity as Frank, but based on his college numbers, he's a shooter. He's a proven shooter. We haven't got to see it tonight, but you know what I'm saying?
Why wouldn't it be DSJ? He the one playing the point. Frank playing off the ball, Quickly playing on the ball. So shouldn't that be DSJ? He better than?
Oh, he's definitely better.
Oh, nah. He didn't want to call out his man. That's what it was.
Nah, I like everybody on the team. Like honestly, I'm one of those fans that I'm gonna rock with you. Like just like Ron Cleveland said, like I'm not one of those to get down, like go to Twitter and just start bashing our players. But you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just calling it for how I see it. I feel like Quickly is gonna be more effective once he gets used to the NBA game.
Then DSJ.
And both of them.
No, Frank playing off the ball though.
I'm high on Quickly.
Nah, so why you don't want to call your man?
Yo, all of them my mans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you put Frank in the spotlight, huh?
I just can't do that. I can't be a fan like that.
I like Frank, but you're not showing me nothing right now. So.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm straight up packaging DSJ, Frank, and Kevin Knox to New Orleans for Lonzo Ball.
I'm with you.
Somebody who shoot 48% from the free throw line.
Probably not Knox, but DSJ and Frank, I'm with you.
Here's
Knox got to go.
Okay, but not for Alonzo Ball.
Hey, man.
Hey, Freeze. I don't know if you heard earlier. We were graced with the Godfather Sim from Nothing But Knicks in the chat tonight, and he was saying, "Be patient. Kevin Knox is going to be fine."
I've been told the same thing about Ntilikina.
Right. And y'all know Knox y'all know Sim is my man 50 grand, right? Sim is my man 50 grand. And y'all know when me and Sim get together, I ain't gotta go in my pocket to pay for nothing when I'm with Sim. You know what I'm saying? That's my man, right? But he is wrong as two left shoes. I'm telling you, in this rebuild, you only can be so patient. Did you see the Miami Heat traded away Justice Winslow and Josh Richardson, and they made the NBA Finals? I mean, come on. At some point, you got to either got to pee or get off the pot. You know what I'm saying? You got to pee.
Are you saying that after 2 preseason games?
No.
After 2 years.
No. I'm saying we've seen Knox for 2. We had Knox for 2 years. We had DSJ for 2 years. We had Frank for 3-4 years, right? And we're still at the same place, wondering what we have in a prospect. That's where we are with Knox, DSJ, and Frank. We are wondering what we have in a prospect, right? Mm-hmm. At some point,
my question is, and I've mentioned this, and it's been mentioned before. Kevin Knox was second team All Rookie. Kevin Knox won Rookie of the Month. Kevin Knox was in the Rising Stars game.
But
Kevin Knox was a starter. Started 57 games his rookie season.
That's not a question.
No,
You
no,
said-
I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it.
Okay, all right.
His rookie season averaged almost 13 points a game. The question is, we've seen Kevin Knox do these things.
Right.
You have to ask yourself at one point is what happened to Kevin Knox? And not the fact is, can Kevin Knox do this? Is can Kevin Knox get back to the road that he was at after his rookie season?
Right.
That's the real question. Not is what do we have, is can he get back to where he was?
Right. And so Big Dog, I legit, man, all your points on every other thing, man, I love it. But the thing with Kevin Knox, it made me wonder, like, why we even, feed the energy into Kevin Knox, because we all know that what you feed is the thing that grows, right? So why do we feed into the Kevin Knox thing, and we're not getting any type of energy reciprocated from Kevin Knox? You know what I mean? I feel like we legit need to go find us a young point guard, maybe in their second or third year with the arrow pointing up, right? Just some young point guard, and trade these guys that we can't figure it out, because it may not be Kevin Knox, it may be us. You know what I'm saying? It may be Kevin Knox can't thrive in New York. Maybe somewhere else is a better. Maybe Memphis, Tennessee is a better place for Knox. You know what I'm saying? I'm just speculating on that based on him not being able to spread his wings and fly in New York. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. The same thing with Frank. Like how long are we gonna wait on Frank to become, say, the Bruce Bowen type player that we want him to be? You know what I'm saying? Like if we didn't have a need at point guard already, then I would say, hey, keep all them guys, man, and then we'll just rock and roll from there. But tonight, against the worst team in the league, y'all saw with our offense, y'all saw we're deficient at point guard. I mean, it's embarrassing. It's to a point now where we're just hoping. Wally Zerbiak legit said, "Hey, did you see Julius Randle grab that rebound off the board and push it? He looks like a great point forward." And he said that tongue in cheek, saying that our point guards are not doing anything. At some point, we have to pee or get off the pot with the point guard. We can't just keep saying run such an insert name here and hope they develop. You know what I'm saying? Because, for instance, how do we know that a lack of point guard is not ruining Kevin Knox?
I agree with you.
It is. It absolutely is. I think it's a great point.
I think there's a reason why you had all those rumors about Leon Rose wanting an established point guard like Chris Paul or Russell Westbrook, because those are the type of players that will put Knox and Obi and RJ and Mitch and Frank in positions to where they can succeed. Elfrid Payton ain't doing that. Dennis Smith Jr. ain't doing that. You need a point guard. You need a floor general with this roster. If you're going to rock with the players that we have, the young players that we have, then, like I said, it's almost malpractice to have them subjected to the point guard play that they have, because you're not seeing what they can be with the people who are playing point guard right now. You're not getting a clear picture.
Right. And so Kev, to your point, I saw a couple of plays where Knox, where the defense gave Knox about 20 feet, right? Because the ball was on the opposite side of the floor, right? So Knox is in the corner with 20 feet of space to himself, right? So Dennis Smith Jr. forces a pass inside into the paint, right?
You get enough from it.
And as soon as I see that, I'm like, I wanted to give DSJ a shot, and I want him to work through it. But Kevin Knox had 20 feet of space wide open, right? And so it's twofold. So you want to blame DSJ for not passing the ball to Knox. But then if you're DSJ, you like, Kevin Knox hadn't been hitting shots since the preseason started. So why should I kick the ball out to him? You know what I mean? So it's like a twofold thing. You know, my thing is I feel like if we get a guy, hey, what's up, Tribird? The Tribird Gigolo, what's good? Big Oso, what's good? Hey, so I feel like if we can get a guy that can be a floor general and just let him rock, you know what I'm saying? I think that maybe, and you know what? I think we may have to overpay for over the hill veteran. I think we may have to overpay for a guy like that. You know what I'm saying? I think we may have to legit go trade for a cat like Rajon Rondo or a Jeff Teague or somebody, because what we have right now is not it. I mean, we legit down the stretch. Y'all saw it when we were down 7 with like 4 minutes left to go in the game. Y'all saw Julius Randle and RJ trying to get us in the offense. And no offense to RJ, but RJ's not a point guard. And no offense to Julius Randle. Julius Randle is not a point guard, point forward, point center, point anything. You know what I mean? We have to upgrade the point guard position, because what we have right now is just not it.
Hey, Freeze, somebody they brought up earlier tonight in the chat, George Hill. What's your thoughts on that? I think he'd be more capable than what we have on right now.
Yeah, depending on how much we pay for him. I mean, I would I would love to have a George Hill, right? But what I don't want to do, and just now I said overpay for a veteran, not the George Hill type veteran. I was talking about like an all-star level guy, but a George Hill. I would say, would y'all trade Kevin Knox or Frank for him?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, or a DSJ, probably somebody like
DSJ
that.
First, if we can get rid of, meaning I still have hope out for Knox, but DSJ, I have no hope.
I would say if I would give up Knox last, because I would want to see what Knox could turn into with legit point guard play, right? You know what I'm saying? The two guards, man. I would ship one of them off so fast for a George Hill type player.
What about Eric Bledsoe?
I think New Orleans is one of those teams that's really interesting because they do have a lot of point guards.
They do.
Yeah.
And so it's like, are you really going in with all these point guards in New Orleans? Or are you going to make a move? Because I think if you in New Orleans, you want to keep Lonzo because of what you gave up to get him.
Mm-hmm.
Same scenario with us in DSJ and KP.
Yeah.
But Eric Bledsoe might be expendable because depending on if they like Kira.
Yep.
And they still have JJ there, and
Bledsoe no better than Rivers.
You don't think so?
No better than Rivers.
Yeah.
The only thing with Bledsoe is Bledsoe has been a point guard.
Mm-hmm.
Like
so
a
they
point
say,
guard.
but he plays like Rivers. He does the same thing Rivers does.
Because like in Milwaukee, the ball is in Giannis's hands most of the time.
Right.
But I don't know. It's really
like
hard
I said,
to find.
my ideal, if there was a trade, my ideal trade is still for Ricky Rubio.
I could see that. I could see that.
He can't shoot either.
But he'll set everybody
He's
up.
a lot better than people think, though.
Nah,
Right.
I watch him on the lead pass. He can't shoot either.
Nah, he's not a shooter.
Yeah,
but
he can't shoot either.
My thing is Ricky Rubio gets 10 assists a game.
Jeff Teague would be about the best one.
Yeah, Teague was the one that I wanted in free agency.
Hey, just real quick, Rubio shot 36% from 3 last year, 86% from the foul line, had 8.8 assists. I could just stop there. That's immediate upgrade, man.
Right.
How many threes he took?
I'll tell you right now, my friend.
It's gonna be like 2 per game or something.
God bless you. All right, 3.3.
That's not a lot.
Bad. Yeah, that's not bad. We definitely, and you know what? I think once the season starts, I think Elfrid Payton's going to get the lion's share of minutes. I think Thibodeau was just experimenting with the guys, but I'm frustrated by the fact that we legit can't. And we have these conversations all the time. Like we legit sit in the chat and talk about, point guard this, point guard that, and then we watch the game and we legit see the same issues. Nobody can get us into legit offense. And to be honest with you, I think some of this is on Thibodeau. And the reason why I say that is a lot of times when a guy is all in on defense, their offense sometimes is like basic. Like they just run basic offense because they know that their defensive schemes are superior. It's like watching. Y'all remember watching Bill Parcells? Remember Bill Parcells used to run the ball 3 times and would only throw it if it was 3rd and 8. I think that's kind of what defensive coaches do. But
it also helps to have O.J. Anderson.
I'm going to say something that I don't think has been said yet, but it's only the second game. Is I didn't really see that much adjustment from Tibbs. I didn't see the mixing and matching that he said he was going to do the other day, this game.
Right.
He did Obi and Randall. That's what he did.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
No,
Nobody want to see that. I want to see Obi. I want to see Obi and RJ with
Obi and Randall
Alfred.
didn't look bad together. That's when the comeback started.
Yeah.
Obi and Randall really didn't look bad together.
Yeah. And plus two, man, we will get. Did y'all see the referee? The referees had it out for us tonight.
Yeah, they hated Randall.
Did y'all see that?
Yeah, they was on Randall hard.
Oh my God!
And I think Randall might have said something to that female ref.
The female ref was that?
It's the one that looked like Lisa Stansfield. Been around the world. Yeah, she had it in for Randall. Yeah, she had it in for Randall. Hey, y'all. Anyway, I gotta go, man.
Me too.
Me too. It's hitting at 3:00, and I think
I gotta roll out myself.
Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all. Hey, Steven, you gonna finish it out for us?
Absolutely.
All right, I'm going, y'all. Hey, peace, y'all.
God bless
y'all
my friend.
All right, peace out.
I'm all up for calling it early tonight.
Yep.
Because these Knicks.
Just all of us, shout out again to the Knicks at Night family. Thank you so much for all your support, hitting that like, hitting that subscribe, hitting that reminder buttons. Don't forget Freezy tomorrow morning for the Nick Morning Drive. Please support Freezy. And we greatly appreciate all your support and also your feedback. We love the questions you put forth for us. And, and tomorrow night's going to be the same thing. We're not going to have a lot to talk about from a game perspective. I think we talked a lot. So we're going to be doing a lot of freestyle. And we're going to
I want to hear Tibbs' press conference tomorrow about his takeaways from the game tonight.
Yeah, I'm afraid his nose might get long.
Listen, I was joking after the game with my friends. I was like, if I wake up and I just hear that Tom Thibodeau was taken to the hospital because he had a heart attack from getting on the team, I wouldn't be surprised because he looked like he was about to have one during the game.
Yeah. Hey, just real quick, shout out to the greatest mods the Lords have ever made, Sima and Bodega. We appreciate all you do, man. You guys are just wonderful. So, anything else, fellas, before we call it?
No. Do it again tomorrow.
As always, it's an honor.
Oh, when's the next game?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yeah. Wow, that's a pretty big break.
Yeah. So, everyone, have a good night. Thank you so much, and it's a pleasure. Take care.
Yeah, have a good one, guys.